It's more organic. There's no professionalism. Harry, you're well, and there's Aidan.
Hey lads, how's it going?
Not too bad. Are you watching the Waterford Bulls game there, guys?
Yeah, I was watching it there, yeah.
No, I'm not on at the minute, no.
You're not?
Is Bulls dominating?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. If the handbrake on, they're very well as you could have, isn't it, Osh, really?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's very comfortable. I'd be worried about Waterford in that sense because Bulls have been only whatever, and they're winning the game. Waterford,
I've seen a few Waterford fans weren't too happy with the ref. I believe you know who it is, Keith.
Oh yeah, who's that? We won't mention the war. I suppose we'll get on to Derry and Drogheda, and this is a huge game, particularly for Derry City. What do you call it? Mm-hmm. When we were talking on the preview show, Keane said all the pressure's on Derry, and he's right. An interesting point. Just watching that there, sorry. An interesting point as well. I've just seen the team news there, and Parkhouse left out for Derry. So, what do you think of that from a Derry point of view?
I don't understand it, to be honest. So it is I know he hasn't been getting the service. You can't say he hasn't been playing well. He just hasn't been getting the service, and especially with all matches, out of all the teams we've played, you expect Drogheda to be more open and have more. You'd have more chances. And the one thing that annoys me with us is we don't have an out-and-out winger. Nothing like that there. We just have just central midfielders. There's no one to be up alongs. I think Akintunde and Parkhouse should be up together.
Yeah, you're right there. That's the problem. Not having wingers at the club, pretty much, you don't have wingers at the club, means you're forced to play a three at the back system with wing backs. And it's just, I just find the balance completely weird because you've Kieran Coyle and Lafferty who are natural left backs, but now it's become a combination. They both have to play because they're two good players. So one is tends centre back as part of a back three, and it's just weird. They seem very strong in one position, then say very weak in another position, and it's translated into this season as well. But Parkhouse, I agree with you 100%. I said at the start of the season that Derry looked like a team that mightn't create much, and I'd be worried about Parkhouse in that way. But dropping Parkhouse surely after a couple of games isn't the answer.
I know he's your man. You're relying on the goals.
Yeah, I mean the creativity is the problem. It's either that or Parkhouse.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a big decision to make. It really is.
Because that's not really the issue so far with Derry.
If it goes if the result goes your way, obviously you might not say anything, but if obviously if it goes the wrong way, then a few fans will obviously pick that out.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, 100%. You're obviously a Drogheda fan.
Of course.
Because, obviously been a Finn Harps fan, and things are great for them. I mean, you could have your cigar, your port there, and sit back and relax. Really, it's a massive difference between both sides because there's 10 points between them this early. That's hard to believe.
It's very hard to believe.
Crazy.
But then again, it's a long way. I wouldn't write Derry off yet. You see a lot of Harps fans coming out saying, "Oh, Derry this, Derry that." No, I wouldn't. I still think there's room for improvement in that squad, but there is an experienced squad, So who knows? But
the one thing Harps definitely have over Derry is physical, compared to we've no aerial threat at all.
Yeah, I will say that Harps have that over nearly everybody because I was at United Park for the Drogheda game. Obviously, I've seen Harps before, but it's a while since I've seen them in an actual game now because of COVID and all that. And Jesus Christ, the first thing you know,
they're tall. Yeah, very tall. Yeah.
They're big. They're physical, and you know what I mean. Well, I have to say for Harps though, I've seen a lot of people give out and say, "Oh, they keep playing long ball football and all this." There's two things wrong with that. Number one, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the style. And number two, they actually aren't really playing like that this season. So
it's a balance really. It's the balance really this year. You haven't seen, as they call it, ollie ball or whatever they call it. But it's hoofball really. But no, they're actually they're actually getting the midfielders involved this year.
Yeah.
I mean, just be defenders to attackers, just head it over, but now they actually have the midfielders in it as well, Will Seymour and Barry McNamee and that. So it's a different brand of football.
Seymour's been a good signing.
It seems to be working,
Well, I'll tell you what, who's playing very well actually for Finn Harps this season, and it's caught my eye, surprisingly, maybe to a lot of people, is Mark Coyle. He's playing very well, actually.
Oh, very good, yeah. Yeah, he's very good. He's flying so far, If he can keep his discipline as well, it'd be very valuable, because he's really hot-headed, at times. But hopefully he'll continue to impress,
Like you saw Finn Harps there against Drogheda. Like, what did you make of Drogheda?
Yeah, very, very impressed. I really, really enjoyed the match, and it was very scrappy kind of first half, but then second half, kind of that first goal from Carlos Sullivan kind of brought it to light, and then obviously Drogs hit back then pretty quick after that, I was really, really impressed with Drogheda. I don't see them struggling at all, to be honest, this year. I can see them finishing 6th or 7th,
The first half was absolutely dreadful. Here it was. This is the first game I've been at, and God knows how long. And what the hell is? Because actually the ball was in the air a lot for both teams.
Yeah, it was aerial battles. Yeah.
It was both teams as well. But the second half was just completely different. It's almost like both managers met at half time and said, "You know what? We both play football. This is bollocks."
Yeah, that's the thing it went there. But no, I'd say it was a fair point. I don't think anyone deserved to win that match, really.
That second half was good. The big difference. First half was just was one of those things. Second half of the game.
And both teams went for it, towards the end, and it was 1-1. They kept trying. You didn't see a team sitting back, so which is good to see as well. It's good, attractive football. So.
It was end, to be fair, in that second half, and a draw was a fair result in the end. Finn Harp's very hard to beat as well, but did you see the start coming for Derry? In fairness, or did you not really? No.
I wasn't expecting anything huge, but I expected us to go and give Longford a game for certain. I would expect they have at least 3 points by now, and I fear if we lose a night, God knows what happens. The next 2 games is Dundalk and Sligo.
Because the fixtures so far haven't been awful for Derry. It's not like they've had Shamrock Rovers, Bows. Okay, Dundalk aren't doing well, but you know what I mean. They had winnable games or matches. They would have even the Pats game in terms of I know Pats have had a good start.
Waterford,
that was very winnable for them last season. Let's say for Derry as well. So
when after the Longford game, I think all fans were happy that the Shamrock Rovers game was moved because because we would have expected they try and get a 1 then against Waterford at home, and then that just went downhill from there.
I think the Waterford at home was nearly worse than Longford away, because I'll tell you why, the Longford away can kind of happen. You can be caught cold, and then they had a couple of weeks kind of to reflect, and then they lost to Waterford, and Waterford have been poor apart from that as well. And I think that was almost more. Sorry, lads, came late. I think that was almost more disappointing. You know what I mean? So from a Derry point,
well, I thought Derry were the better team in that match. Yeah,
Waterford got to the match. They were kind of lucky enough-ish. With the penalty and the free kick.
Yeah.
But
Guardside probably to blame for that, I also gave away the penalty and the free kick kind of questionable as well,
Somewhere with a Longford game, that I think was it the second goal? The shot was going way wide and he palmed it in.
That was it, But that's it there. Hey, you can't really blame him either because he's been on the bench for 2 years. He's been behind Peter Cherry last year and before,
It's Fitzgerald up front.
Is it?
I think.
I don't know. That looks a bit off, doesn't it?
Back in Sunday, he'd up front.
I never trust the York. I'd say it's 3 at the back.
You never trust that, really, do you?
No.
Well, I'm just glad McJanet doesn't centre mid. I haven't been understanding that either. Playing him in the midfield, McJanet.
That was ridiculous playing him in the field. You got to play players in their best positions for a start, in my opinion. It just annoys me when teams do that, to play players out of position. like O'Donnell done that a good few times last year at Pats. Now you could understand it to a degree because it was half the season, first full season, but it still annoyed me a bit. Like Lee Desmond played in 5 matches, he played in 4 different positions, for example. You don't get consistency in team performance or player performance when you do that. I just, I don't get it. Like, it's just from Declan Devine's point of view. I don't necessarily think the answer is Declan has to go, and then people might change their mind if they're beaten here. Who knows? But in fairness, Derry, there is actually a 5-year plan here, and I think they're the second year, I believe, with their 5-year plan. So,
and he signed a contract extension at the end of last season.
Yeah, unless now they got relegated or something ridiculous like that, then you kind of go, hang on a second, or they're close to relegation, very close, with a couple of games to go. But, I mean, Sligo were in this position last year and finished 4th in a half a season.
Yeah. They had 0 points, and then after the break, then they flew out. Went on a string of results, which was surprising.
I do think they're the type of team, exactly, if they can get a result or two, they can kick on a little bit. I don't necessarily think they'll finish in the top 4, but I don't think they'll be in the bottom 2 type thing.
Either. I believe your prediction tables changed, Keith. I believe your prediction table since the start of the season has changed.
Where did I have Derry actually? 6 or 7?
I think you said 5th.
Oh shit!
I think you said 5th. Like you said, it'll be a battle between 5th and 6th.
Me for saying that was too low.
You were saying it was I believe you were saying it will be a battle between 5th and 6th between us and Sligo.
And Pats, I think it was Pats actually. I'd Sligo definitely. I think Pats and Derry, to be honest with you. I think I had Derry 6th, to be honest, or Pats 6th. I can't remember. Pats or Derry.
It was either 5th or 6th. You and Cian were proper debating over it.
yeah. I think he said one and I said the other. If you get me, but potentially they could finish 5th or 6th. Still.
Like, is that Finn Harp second last or third last?
Third last, third last. And some people were giving out saying they'll finish lower than that.
Yeah.
So hey, look, Finn Harps could finish third last. Let's be honest about it. Like, to be fair,
yeah, definitely, yeah. Like on before the started. But
even so, a couple of injuries can just knock you for 6. Like,
but one thing is for certain, Keith. If you had told us. Derry at the end of last season, we would be a point behind Dundalk at this stage. We would have.
That's funny, isn't it? It is funny. But Dundalk just looks like they're just a mess. Like, that said, they'll probably beat Pats 4-0 tomorrow night. You know yourself, but they do. Yeah. They look a mess. Like, and it's just so many things going on at that club. And I don't think it's necessarily the management that's the problem either. It's coming from above. There's a lot of rumours that. The chairman, and I've heard it from decent contacts as well, chairman is involved in picking the team. And when you have that point in having, doesn't matter the managers really.
I noticed the Pharaoh boy, Nadistad, after he went on, because he went international duty, he had a quarantine coming back.
Hang on a second. Sorry. Go on ahead.
I was just saying he had a quarantine, I believe, for 2 weeks after coming back from international. Nadistad, the centre half, Faroe Island boy. He had to stay in a hotel room.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
The mandatory quarantine. Your man Jerkofas was grand, the left back. He's a Latvian boy, but.
Sorry, Yosh, what do you think of the artificial pitch, Aidan? I meant to ask you before, actually. Sorry there.
I don't know. Like when it first went down, I liked it and stuff, but I'm not as such a huge fan of the artificial unless it's done right. Like it's just going to get as bad as Dundalk's like one of these years.
That's the issue. Like people have said obviously the Finn Harps pitch, and in fairness, like I know for a fact, like they work very hard and that, and it's a difficult one because of where they are a lot of the time. Yeah. Because of the part of the country, but you still wouldn't like an artificial pitch there, I don't think, would you?
No.
Like, especially with Derry's pitch, the reason why I think as well, like it can be a bit hard to maintain. You see, because it's Derry don't officially own the ground because it's like council sort of run, so a lot of council stuff during the week still go on. Well, before COVID would have happened, like there would have been some local football teams would have trained there.
Yeah.
Things
Like,
like that.
it's nice when you watch it on TV, but playing on it, I don't know. Players, funnily enough, I know Drogheda all week we're actually training on AstroTurf pitches, which is, it's interesting because it does change the dynamic a little bit. Like,
bounce the ball and stuff. It's all different.
It's generally quicker unless you have a good grip in the grass surface, but it's generally quicker as well.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Sure.
What do you think? What do you think Derry will win or drop?
I think Drogheda.
You want it?
2 seconds, Keith.
You're grand.
Yeah, no, I think they will, won't they? Drogheda.
No, they've done very well so far.
I know. In fairness to them, they've done very well. See how they get on now, but as people mentioned so far, like there's a good balance in that team. Youth and experience, so a chance there now from.
He's very impressive. Like the ball there, James Brown.
James Brown's been amazing now. Really impressed with him now.
Last season, I was very impressed with him, but you're never too sure because you're in the first division. If you get me, but he's taken that form like it hasn't made a difference, to be honest, in the Premier League. I think exactly him and Mark Doyle. I think Drogheda fans won't like me saying it, but him and Mark Doyle are capable of playing for someone in the top 4. To be honest with you.
Yeah, Mark Doyle got off the mark.
They've some decent. Drogheda, I think the team they have now, it's one of the best they've had in at least 5 years. I'd say.
Yeah.
Ronan Murray as well.
They've tried to build. They've tried to build it as well within their budget. Looks like Derry on the attack here.
Looked like a handball there, I thought.
Yeah.
Keane's Cork City are 1-0
up. Ooh, Shelburne. I thought they were playing Shelburne as well. He's given them a bit of grief the last few weeks, hasn't he?
Oh, it's funny.
Well, in fairness, I have to say, most of the Cork fans are actually agreeing with him. That's the funny thing. Jesus, I'm just looking at the scores here. Bray and Athlone didn't realise started early, and it's 2-1 to Athlone already after 23 minutes.
Curtis Byrne, 2 goals there.
2-1 Athlone?
Bray won Athlone 2 after 23 minutes.
Yeah.
They're playing well.
They won up 2, yeah. Very good.
They scored 2 goals within 3 minutes. 11th minute and 14th, back to back.
That's it, yeah. After Bray took the lead.
Colin McCabe in nets again for Drogheda. I wonder what happened to
last game. He was injured the last game. I wonder if it's a case that the manager feels, well, kind of get the clean sheet. Can I drop? But then again, he didn't really have a save to make, so I do like Adamuso. I think he's excellent.
He's young too. He'll be there for a few years,
Dundalk let him go, Adamuso, and he'd walk in their team now at the moment, I have to say.
Exactly.
Devon gone if Derry lose. What do you think?
What's sorry?
I don't know. Do you think he'll be gone? I don't know, to be honest. I don't think he will. No, I don't think they will.
No.
I don't think he should, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did.
Well, who are they going to get in? Who's going to come in instead?
See,
that's what I mean. Like, there's no one like they do. Like, what are you going to do? Paddy McCourt manager?
Yeah, I mean, there's good managers in the league, but you're not taking Tim Clancy away from Drogheda, say, at this minute of time. Devine was fine, though, like when he was at Derry before and all. And even the season before last, he was fine. He came in and did a good job.
There's been talk
that look at it and say there's something else, or again, it comes back to the plan as well. How patient are people for this plan to possibly work?
That's it. It's
a bit like always been rumours for Hounsey at Hearts, but everyone always says that. There's always rumours about him, but
he loves Derry as well. Like, he played for Derry, he's Derry man, But then again, the passion he showed when Harp scored last week against Waterford. Do you see that? No, he ran down the sideline.
Because when I was at United Park for the Harps game, I remember turning around and saying to one of the guys there, this was in the first half, Jesus, Ollie's very quiet. And he was very quiet for the whole match. 10 minutes ago, fucking erupted. He completely lost his shit. Ended up getting booked.
He's probably cautious of picking up suspensions and stuff, you know.
He's passionate, like, and I'd say he tries his best. He goes out and goes, right, I'll be calm, and just something happens and he's gone. Once something happens, he's gone, I'd say. And I can understand it, to be honest, because, you see fans who are as quiet as anything, and they can just lose their shit at games. Like, it just something happens and it's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Quite entertaining at times. So if I need time to get things working, it'll be an usual second. Yeah, exactly. If Derry win tonight, we'll be bottom of the league. Derry win tonight. Oh, you're a Dundalk fan. Bally, yeah. Bally need to be
well here now so far. We've had a good start.
Yeah, they have.
I like Fitzgerald seems to be doing all right so far.
Mm-hmm.
Easy roll.
It's our second corner kick there now, yeah. It's our second corner now, yeah.
There we are. We're back. Disappeared there for a second. But what JP mentioned this as well before. He says they don't really have a player who gets in the ball in the midfield and dictates the play, Derry, though. That's the only thing.
No.
They don't have anyone.
No, not really.
And that's fine. You might want to play that style. Personally, I like seeing a player like that. That's my own opinion. But I'm not sure. Maybe Devine doesn't want that style. Drogheda can be dangerous in the counter attack. There's a good chase there.
Yeah. No.
I think the ref done well there. Play on. Sometimes they blow up too early for things. Like the other thing with Derry as well, remember, they're starting to bring through young players from the academy. I love when clubs do that. And that takes time. You can't just, do you know what I mean?
So that's what we always done. We always try to bring one or two every 2 years. Like Barr played well the other night for his debut, and then Boyce as well.
But he could have games where he's just completely inconsistent because of his age. Have you frozen, by the way?
No, I'm okay.
I forgot it was on. Yeah, right. Yeah, I forgot it was on RTE actually. So I'm gonna click over to that if you get me.
That's where I'm watching on. I'm watching live on RTE.
You forgot because I'm so used to doing this. You all right? Who are you up for, Derry or Drogheda? Drogheda. Okay. Poor ripped apart tonight. But they won't care if they win.
I noticed some fans are sitting on the wall behind the net.
Yeah.
They're always up there.
That's a...
But it's mad to watch LOI so far. Like, as in, I thought it'd be better than last year, but they haven't improved it, have they?
Like RT, I keep put it on RT. It's super clear, of course.
The scoreboard. They've had a few problems with the scoreboard and watch LOI this year, but not too bad. I mean, at least they have a scoreboard at times, you know.
Sometimes it goes off. Have you noticed?
Yeah. It went off against Bows in the first night. Harps against Bows.
Come on, for that.
Went off the Derry match as well. Longford, you know. But hey, it's lack of funding, and, you know. That's the way it is.
No, it's hard. Yeah, at the same time, you'd expect RT because they look after watch LOI. I think it's just laziness, to be honest. Because some clubs have done it and done a decent job of it as well.
You streams last year with class, and even Wexford, you know, very good streams.
UCD as well, by the way, and UCD, there was a friendly later on the season, Dundalk and Bowls. It was brilliant as well.
I watched that, and I watched the Drogheda and Dundalk one as well. It was very good. Yeah.
Oh, thought I was getting past them here.
Actually, do you know what? They're both similar in terms of their style of play because Drogheda like counter attack and don't really have a midfielder who gets on the ball either type thing. They don't have a player like that. Their midfield is similar, I guess, I suppose. But Derry have been accused of maybe playing too slowly in games, haven't they, at times?
Yeah, just going sideways all the time.
Yeah, it can be tough to watch. That can be tough to watch. It's easy to defend against, you see. But you rarely see them trying to play a ball over the top and getting the defenders turned, even if it means you give it away sometimes, you know?
All right.
But I know I like the look of James Brown.
He's
Very
really,
decent player. You know.
really good. Yeah.
Um,
If he's
got
still a
that
Drogheda,
goal.
I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked.
Hmm.
Derry were
Would you like
actually.
him with Pats?
Oh,
Would you take him
absolutely.
with Pats?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's more than good enough to play for. Oh yeah, 100%. I think he can play for most clubs in the league. Never mind. If Rovers didn't have Gannon, let's say, I think he can play for anyone. You know, honestly, in this league. Derry were actually after Mark Doyle in the what they call the window as well. Actually, they tried to get him up. But,
were we? I don't know.
They tried to get him up, yeah, but you know, he agreed to stay with Drogheda, but I can't see him there next season. Really, I can't. Bramble up against for Kieran Griffin scored. Yeah, I'm playing Hugh Douglas a right back this game. I know what the joke is. Yeah, Balls 1-1 now.
I seen Dylan saying there now that the quality's making me dizzy.
Yeah, you get that. I think he's talking about the Watch LOI, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's sometimes it gets, you know, you get that dizzy feel when it's kind of going back from Bohemians.
Hold on, we laugh there. Come on, do something.
It's a sharp start, actually. The both teams, like, there hasn't been both teams are really
They're back and forth.
They're putting there's urgency in their game, basically.
I can tell they're going back and forth. Like Drogheda seems to be happy enough just sitting back, trying to get us on the counter.
Yeah. That's their game generally. And funnily enough, when they tripped up in the first division last year, it was usually against the weak teams that sat back against them because they love to play counter-attacking football. Most teams in the Premier Division won't sit back against them, so it kind of suits them down to the ground.
Untold doing well.
They're to dictate the terms of the game, actually. Like right to left there and that kind of thing.
I suppose the one good thing is if anything was to happen, there's like quite a few of our players have now signed longer deals, like the likes of Owen Toole. He's tied down. Parkhouse was a 3-year deal.
3 years, Very good.
It means if you lose them, you're going to get a fee as well. You're covering your arse.
Yeah.
You know, the flip side is if you end up with a dud, you're kind of stuck with them then for 3 years. That's the problem, isn't it? Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, unless someone else is going to buy them off you. Yeah.
Yeah. But if they're struggling, they won't buy them off you. Like Chris Forrest on a 3-year deal, and he struggled badly for the first year and a half, I'd say. And you're thinking, oh my God, like, and then a good contract as well. So it's risky as well. Like,
well, what's common enough with the League Ireland, like 1-year deals, you know.
But you wouldn't have 1-year deals in general.
Like at least with Owen Toole, you're guaranteed good. By him, he always does well.
Like you can't Waterford there, like you're changing their team nearly every season. I think eventually it's catch up on you.
It's the same with us. We're practically similar. We be shipping out about 7 and bringing in another 5. So it's like of all loans.
It's all loans in Derry, isn't it? Good ball with top there.
The loans are funny, aren't they? Because a lot of the loans only last till mid-season as well. And if they do well, then if you lose them, it's a pain in the arse, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, sure. If they come from the English leagues, it's only up until July or whatever, June or July. Like Joe Hodge, you know, for example.
Yeah,
you know.
We haven't seen. Weird, was it?
No, we haven't seen him yet.
No, he's injured. He was. I heard he was sent back to.
I think it was something to do with that sort of training. He had a back problem, and then Man City brought him over for he went back to Man City for me.
Because I mean, see how in the league as well, because he's got a reputation, like.
Yeah.
He scored goals. I know youth football and that you just never know because Glenn McCauley had a reputation at Liverpool and he came back to the league and he's been absolutely dreadful, to be honest. You know. But Hodge, I would say, has a bigger reputation again. So
that was a good ball on top there. It's real that header. Treaty United 1-0 up there against Galway.
Oh yeah?
Treaty? Wow.
Shells have equalised with Cork there too, yeah.
Just see the Shelburne one, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Treaty look defensively very good so far.
Yeah, they need to keep.
There where Derry played a long ball to Wilson Fitzgerald and he messed up a bit. But
I thought he might have. Like, I would expect him to do a bit better.
That was a good chance there.
A chance.
Trying to get to defence, earned. It's not just all short passing, sideways passing, backward passing, because you need to try those balls at times. Parker's probably looking at that going, I would have scored that.
You can see what he was trying to do. You know, you can see what he's trying to do, but maybe if he got a bit more power in the header.
Yeah. It's a difficult one to header. He might have hard to know when he thought he had, to control it. But it's difficult to say when you're in that situation. It's easier to say when you see, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Would you be happy with Derry so far, Aidan?
I
would.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'd be happy.
I
want to see Patching doing more. We expected him to be better. Like I know we didn't see too much of him at Dundalk, but I thought he would still have been decent.
Yeah, still early days, but yeah. He's the type of player that tries to break into the box. You see, we don't know. He could be asked to do a different role that he's not used to doing and stuff. It's very difficult to see, isn't it, at times? What do I make? What's this? What do you make of what Ian Morris said with the Galcavo game? I think it was a lot of touch, to be honest with you.
Who got the points?
Ian Morris has bigger things.
Galway got the 3 points automatic. Was it just the 3 points, or did they give him a 3-0 win as well?
3-0 win, yeah.
3-0 win.
But that's the kind of rule. That's what was put in place at the start of the season. People are harping on it last season, but the rules have changed. Have a draw down. So
it was very last minute though. Galway was already there and everything at the ground, I think.
They were Stradbrook. They found out at 5:30. It's odd, and Cabinteely don't seem to be putting up too much of a fight, which suggests I don't know. But Ian Morris thought it's stupid. I don't know. What was the point in him even saying that? Do you know what I mean? Coming out with that, he's enough to be dealing with. Really shouldn't really. I wouldn't be concerned if I was in his shoes about it.
Yeah. I heard that John Caulfield drove from Dublin to Limerick to the Markets Field. He must have sped up the motorway.
Well, in fairness to him, though, would he not get away with that? Because in a way, he's working, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's going to scout and look at the team. Suppose he gets away with that. Right. Technically working. It's part of his job description, I'd say. I know it's blurry lines, but I reckon he gets away with it because of that, though.
Yeah.
But I think with Cabo, it was a case of they knew they weren't going to win the match once they were in that situation. They just said, we'll take the 3-0 defeat, more or less. If they had to play a young team.
Cabo normally have a good start to the season, They
always have a good start to the season, yeah.
But then they always kind of crumble then, which is...
Even last season, the short season, they crumbled a bit. Treaty beating Galway.
Jackie always seems to go to a lot of matches. They want, they watch teams and stuff. I think he went down to Drogheda the other, down to Longford the other week. I think it was.
Yeah, it's a good start from Derry. Drogheda are almost feeling them out because they're expecting. They're trying to see it out at the moment. I think they expected this area. I get that sense.
Fitzgerald's doing well.
Who?
So far. Fitzgerald, he's playing well so far.
Yeah, his movement is good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of Akin Tunda? I'm still a bit unsure about him. Are you?
I don't know. I really don't know what they think of him. Sometimes, like last year, what was it? Was it his first game? Did he? I think he scored down on Pats. Was it Keith?
Yeah.
I was loving him there, of course, but I know he hasn't. Same again, he hasn't really been doing too much. But at the same time, once again, does he really get the service, the chances?
And what's his position like? He doesn't tend to play up front in general. He plays wide.
He always, one match he's wide, and then one match then he's up front.
Yeah.
He's a good chance there. Well, I'm ahead of his boys, but Drogheda taking the.
What minute are you on?
Drogheda taking the lead there.
23. Drogheda scored.
Oh, dear.
James Brown with the goal.
James Brown, of course.
No. Right, where are you at? He's just after me, user.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am on 24 minutes now. Just
I have to be honest and say it's a scrappy goal, but it's against the run of play.
Yeah.
all this it's bubbling about the box there.
Confidence factor, I think.
What time were you on, Archie? I think it was actually my fault because I think I was a little bit behind.
I'm just on 24-16 now.
All right. Well, I'm actually ahead of you. So I was behind there now because I must have paused it earlier. So I'm on 25.
I'm watching otherwise. So.
I'm on 25-18.
Right. Like Drogheda, they had a lot of players in the box, though. Like it was played across, but 6 players in the box.
Everything's just so. All our goals, like it's all just so scrappy that we concede. So it is half of the goals half of them is always so scrappy.
And I have to be honest, Derry have started okay.
It's the same
with Waterford match.
And same with Shamrock Rovers as well. They started well too, So
this is where
you can sort of say at the same time, a bit unfortunate way, like nothing's been falling for us in the box type of way, that type of thing. But still.
It's how they react now. Will the heads drop or will they be able to react? Is the key thing. But so James Brown got himself in a good position again. I know he's a right back and all, but kind of highlighting there, I suppose, what we've been saying about him as well. Like he's just
I think he's an attacking really left back, isn't he?
Yeah, and he can defend as well though. He's got a great vision. He never gets caught out of position even though he attacks, that kind of way. He's got some lungs on him. But Drogheda probably would have taken 0-0 after 25 minutes if I'm completely honest. So that's a bonus to them. But for Derry, it's a tough one at the moment.
I think Drogheda will they'll stay the same. They'll play until half time, and then half time they'll go to defensive probably more.
The issue is this really seems Drogheda big time now because they have something to hang on to. They can
on Sunday.
Yeah.
A lot of Derry's attacks are down the left, have you noticed?
Yeah, you're right enough.
The left-hand side of the field.
Here's Brendan Barr on the board. I lose out.
This is the problem, I think, now when you are 1 down a game like this and you need players in midfield who can find a pass and control it and that. And that's I think that's where you're falling down mostly. You can talk about mistakes in defence. I know things can happen like that in strikers. But I think
Kieran Harkin should be playing, I believe.
What?
Kieran Harkin, Jackie, he should be playing.
On the bench.
I don't understand. He's on the bench an awful lot. Don't understand it. And he's meant to be a vice captain as well, but you're on the bench.
And that makes me think that Declan doesn't really want someone in the midfield like that because Harkin, it's not completely his game. He's not going to completely control the game, but he's
He'll run at you.
All and that kind of thing, The fact that Declan doesn't always pick him makes me think that's not the way he wants to go. I don't know. It's a difficult one.
Kieran always likes playing forward. Like he'll run at you. See the way Owen Toole would have the ball now. Like he would try and run like forward.
And often breaks into box and gets goals as well. So they've responded well, I have to say though. I know they haven't created anything, but they're still enthusiastic as ever.
They're in possession of the ball here and they're passing it around, so hopefully they make it a quick response here.
Just looking at some of the comments there.
Treaty. Imagine Treaty.
Would do. Well, Keith, they've lost all hope in Waterford. I thought they were poor today, Bobby, to be fair. I thought they were very comfortable in that game. That was the worry. I was watching a YouTube video where the guys are discussing diving, and it said, "You dive the box, you get it." I don't know. It's a funny one, the diving one, isn't it? Because what's the difference between a dive and exaggerating a foul? Sometimes it becomes a grey area. You could get a red card for a dive, and it wasn't a dive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the last. I don't know. It's a funny one. I don't know. They've enough other issues, I think, in with VAR and officials and that. Without
Imagine VAR in this league. Imagine that. Jesus.
it's bad enough the officials as it is, like, you know.
Exactly, and you at least you know when a goal scored, you actually know it's gonna stand. You know, unless you have a flag up. You know.
Yeah, it's true. Like I still like the idea of not having a VAR, to be honest with you, because it's not. I suppose VAR isn't the issue really. It's the officials, and I don't find it odd in the Premier League. Did you see there was a goal disallowed the other day? I'm not a Man United fan, but McTominay apparently fouled.
Son.
Yeah.
Like what?
What was that?
And they're looking at this in a monitor and have come to the conclusion that it's a foul.
Yeah.
And you're going, my word, like.
He didn't try and hit him. It's obviously just a way of like to hold him back. It
doesn't matter what level you play at. Like, you do that to feel the opponent a bit, don't you? You kind of go, you're thinking, is someone actually having a laugh saying that, like, coming up with that decision?
What's a tall player meant to do against someone small?
Yeah.
Bizarre. Like, Jamie Mack, like. And VAR doesn't seem to help the poor officiating.
Have you guessed them?
They won't cry about it anyway. They went on to win the match, so you know.
Yeah, I did say one.
Hey Keith, if we concede, because I noticed Dylan was saying if you're ahead, don't say anything. If we concede, I'll try and keep a straight face, but if we score, sorry.
Oh yeah. But the funny thing is, Ush was ahead of me, and then I think you were ahead of me slightly, and then I was behind again.
Drogheda just had a chance there. A good save from Gartside. I'm on 31 now, so I don't know. What are you at? Or what are you on?
Hey, I'm at 31, 35.
I'm at 30.
I'm on 31-15 now, so we're both ahead of you, Keith.
I'm still on 30.
We'll keep quiet anyway if they score.
Like, I'm seeing McCabe coming and catching the ball.
There's that's the better internet up north.
That's what it is. Yeah. Must be.
We're closer to the action.
I don't like.
I can really look out my bedroom one. I can see the Brandywell down the street.
Oh, can you? Yeah, you're that close. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice ground, though. In fairness, Brandywell, though.
Yeah, that's nice.
Like, some of the grounds need to be done up, as we know, but the Brandywell's pretty much. It's
steady.
We had that standard everywhere. Like, you'd be happy enough with that. Like, generally.
I mean, if a bar or if a stadium has a bar in it, you know it's a good stadium. You know.
Yeah.
A lot of the bars up in the newsstand. So it is.
Red card for Shelburne.
Who got it? No idea.
Not yet.
They've had with discipline. I mean, when they got relegated last year, the last few games, red cards galore.
Gilchrist with the goal there for Shelburne. I was strange. I was surprised at that. See Gilchrist going to Shelburne.
I want them to stay.
Oh, that's a good player. Like.
It just shows Shelburne have to go up, won't they? Aiden, apparently they're useless at Warzone.
They have to go up. Like, there's no question about it. They have to. You know.
Hey,
I see in the comments there. You're useless at Warzone.
All right, aye.
What's Warzone? I know it's a game. Yeah.
So was it?
What was that? Dive, red card. Drogheda's a big, strong team. Not many teams in Ireland. See, I saw them against Finn Harps, so it's hard to judge because Finn Harps.
Look at all the fans on the wall. Look, you'll see. Look at people we drank up on the wall. They're all sitting on the wall. Fans.
Oh, did you see
the camera zooms up to them all?
Oh, I've seen the Sligo boys up on top of the roof. Dancing away.
We were giving out, but I mean, come on, like, no, we should have that. There was a few Drogheda fans with flares in the games for Harps from over the wall as well. It's sad in a way, because
it is sad to see. Yeah,
sad to see when you see it. Like, it's like Jamie Mack.
Jack Walsh Cork City down to 10 man. Is it Cork? It is Cork. Cork down to 10. Sorry. Yeah. Jack Walsh, yeah.
Oh dear. He's
Oh
supposed
dear, oh
to
dear.
get. They'll take a draw now.
Mm,
Take a draw now, I think.
yeah. When the start, say in the last season, I was thinking, oh, Cork are going to struggle in the first division, and then they started signing players, and I was thinking, nah, they might snatch a wee playoff place, and then I seen people then tipping them to get second, and I was thinking, nah, I think that's too much, but
I think they're capable of doing much better than what they're doing, though.
yeah,
Has
yeah,
BD
100%.
has BD been playing much for Cork?
Who? No, not
BD?
really. No, he hasn't been. No, he hasn't been actually. So they need him in, but I don't know. Like Wayne was a good sign, I thought, from Dundalk. He impressed me in the season.
Roy Morrissey's still there. Yeah.
Like players with experience of winning the Premier Division title.
Keane's friend Mark McNulty, or not McNulty, isn't Mark McNulty? Or
Oh, he's
Keane loves him.
Because you were speaking of the Warzone, Keith, Orsine jumped on earlier on my stream.
Where did drinking cans inside the Manuel? I don't even know what that means. Adrian Connor, where do you pee? Right,
You're drinking cans outside on the wall. Oh.
The red card curse is taking effect tonight. All right, what's the score? It's 1-0 to Drogheda. I had to look up for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, you know the score already.
Yeah, I should know it off by heart considering I'm watching. Yeah. I don't know what did Derry have to do here to get back into the game. They're don't get me wrong, the effort is there, so you can't say sometimes
Teams are
playing for the short.
really doing similar. Drogheda just had a bit of luck where the ball fell to one of the players in the box.
Yeah, scrappy enough goal.
They're just the final third. They're lacking that idea, Derry, I think, aren't they? A little bit. There's Deegan. You don't mess with Gary Deegan.
Like the pitch, nearly everyone who has the ball, there's so much space for both teams.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it would actually really suit someone in midfield who can get on the ball, but none of the teams really have that type of player.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, and that's what's lacking as well. Because I suppose my favourite players generally are players who actually get on the ball in midfield. So I'd prefer Andre Pirlo to Lionel Messi, nearly. That kind of way, because I just love that type of player. So I hate when teams don't actually have that type of player in a way, but Derry and Drogheda don't really have it, to be honest. Finn Harps do, right? McNamee is that type of, you know what I mean? He likes getting the ball, make things happen. Yeah,
playmaker,
yeah. So someone who could just keep the game ticking along in midfield rather than even a playmaker as such, to get me I can even be capable of doing that. But
there's been a lot of fouls in the match.
There has, yeah.
Okay, now Gary Deegan.
Will Limerick be back in the SSC League anytime soon? Do you know? Treaty.
Well, yeah. Treaty, yeah. The new Limerick,
Athlone dark horses to win the first division. They could well be dark horses.
They're saying well,
Yeah. Derry need to play through the lines out by the flanks. They're not getting past Douglas. Yeah, but that's an issue because they've no one to find people through the lines. That's part of the point of not having.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one. How do you change that? You can't. Joe Hodge might have been the player that they thought would be that player, and they don't have him.
Yeah.
Maybe. Potentially.
Boy. Yes!
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I'm behind here.
So now you're behind. You were in front a second ago. Don't say anything who scored or anything like that.
No, I won't.
Yeah, that's what
I have a corner here, just.
I'll just turn my TV down a bit, make sure you don't hear it as well when they say.
I'm miles behind here. Are you still behind us as well?
No, I just see it. I'm on 39, 20 seconds. 39 minutes.
Yeah.
Good.
There you go.
McJanet, I think. You
Like
see
Janet
it?
is the header.
Yeah, McJanet, I think it is. Yeah. Oh. Good header.
It's so
That's the same.
behind them. So
He's
much
now your top goal. He's our top goal scorer.
Yeah, he is. He's completely unmarked, though.
Yeah, isn't it?
Drodge's point of view, completely unmarked.
What's happening?
Yeah, and there's 4 players in and around them as well. Like, well, obviously Derry will take that. They won't give a shit about that. It's nice to have replays, isn't it? Though.
Yeah. Well, that's only for the RTE, isn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes you just need there to have.
Yeah, because I've been doing the podcast, the Harps podcast, and if we're like doing a live watch along, I have to just click through the footage and go back to when the goal happened. You know, it's a joke, really. You know, you have to keep clicking
You
back.
can see the way you were saying Orsing was ahead. That was because when I said then, I accidentally must have had the TV pause for like 30 seconds. So that's why.
Yeah, so you're ahead now of me by like 20 seconds or so.
Where are you watching, Orsing?
He's just completely unmarked.
I'm watching RT player, so.
Yeah.
All right. I'm on RT too on the TV.
I was on Watch LOI there, but I was behind you by a minute or so, so that's why I switched over to Watch LOI or to RT player. So
I think very, like, in fairness, coming again here. It's actually level, to be fair. I think I don't think any team deserves to be in front as such.
No, I wouldn't think that either. No.
I know Drogheda Tim Clancy won't be happy with the way he's going. That's a nice pass from Bruce, though, wasn't it? Fairness.
Yeah, it was, yeah. But
with
his
well.
What do you think, Keith? I should like celebrate when we don't actually score, so when you think?
Yeah, but it's very hard not to celebrate when we score, isn't it? How do you?
No, but that's what I mean. I'll do a wee fake celebration in the second half, even though if we haven't scored, you'll think we have.
But then when the goal comes along for me, let's say, or even us there, you're kind of like, you're not surprised. And so you're kind of looking at it and it's hard to react then, isn't it? Because you know it's coming, even though it could be 5 minutes later. I'm surprised Kieran Griffin's the on score for Ramblers so far. Poor defending, Jesus is darn. It was bad defending, though. I know Aid won't give a shit, but Jesus Christ, it wasn't dropping a man near him. I don't know who was supposed to be marking him.
Yeah. You're a good
Boys
ball.
have all of a sudden this year been able to buy all the players they've got.
Yeah.
Is it?
Half loan.
No.
How have they all of a sudden been able to get all these players?
But they must have somebody pumping in a bit of money from somewhere, businesses or something. All of a sudden, they brought in all these pretty good players. I'm surprised how quickly they've gelled as a unit, though. That's why that's why I didn't think they'd be contending. But if they win tonight, again, you're going to have to consider them, I suppose, because...
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
Meany's been playing really well for them. Was it Stephen you call him? Stephen Meany?
Meany, yeah, he's a really good player, in fairness. Yeah,
he left Drogheda to go to them.
Yeah, he was good at them last season as well. Like, he wasn't always starting, but...
yeah, well, Cover actually just...
there, anyway, for sure.
Cover just actually making a 2-0 there now, so...
Who's 2-0 up?
Cove.
Oh, Cove for 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Tough for Wexford, to be fair. They have a very young team, though. I mean, really young team. They've 18, 19-year-olds.
Yeah. If you think back to a few years ago, it was always Athlone at the bottom, and then Wexford.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of just flipped now. You know, well, last few years it's been Wexford at the bottom and Athlone second from the bottom, but this year will be different, no doubt. You know.
I just thought there was a lot of potential in Athlone because of Athlone IT as well. I always felt surely they can put more players. And it's a decent sized town, and it's not really near another club as such. Like it's
Longford would be the closest, like Longford.
Yeah. You know, it's not really like say clubs around the Dublin belt, for example, or something like that. But the potential was always there in that loan. In a way, you'd like to see them in, but Cork and Shelburne are still the two biggest clubs in that division, in fairness.
Yeah, Galway coming behind there too.
Come on.
To be fair, though,
Lafferty's been doing really well. He played a nice pass there now.
To be fair, though, they are trying a little bit more direct at times, Derry as well. Just have to try and do.
It seems to me that Lafferty is playing in a more attacking role than the left-hand side, where
yes.
Kieran Call's obviously probably left back, but Lafferty seems to be like a left mid more than anything.
Yeah, like if Drogheda really attacked since the goal, especially not really.
Not really, no. They've had a few chances, really. That's about it. Not much.
Derry have the ball mostly. You can usually tell as well. You know when people say when results are gone bad that the manager's lost the dressing room, etc., etc.
Yeah.
You can clearly tell though that that's not the case with Derry though. Just and there's maybe a problem with in terms of finding a way of playing and things, but there's no issue here in terms of desire or commitment or anything. I don't see that, to be honest. Maybe the first game against Longford, you could question that a little bit. Apart from that,
yeah,
they're on it.
UCD's 2-0 up now.
Yeah, see that. UCD 2-0 up there against Cabo.
They're another dark horse.
Yeah, that's it. But they're always in around the playoffs, aren't they? You know,
they always have players. They're going to have 3 or 4 players. They're going to play for some of the top teams in the Premier Division in a couple of years. They always do.
Yeah.
Sam Todd, watching Sir Sam Todd's at UCD now.
That's what I'm saying. Now, former Harps and Derry man, you know.
But also, even though he's 22, he has experience of playing Premier Division football, and their Achilles heel is the back line. You know what I mean? And he's going to help with that as well. So
he's a big lad, so yes.
Yeah, he's average for a Finn Harps player. He's probably like the 10th biggest in the dressing room.
6'7" wise.
I mean, I don't know where he's playing at the moment. If he's a right back or centre back with UCD,
centre back there.
I was about to say I'd be tempted playing centre back with them. To be honest,
well, he always was a centre back until kind of last year when you had Webster in there and Siddiqui. You know, so
it's a bit like to push Webster out left back as well. Half time anyway.
Happy, but I believe we should be ahead.
Yeah. But at the same time, probably glad you got level. Like Drogheda had one attack, really proper attack in this ball.
They've had sort of just 2 sort of counter attacks, but they haven't really.
That's what I mean. Derry's done that well though as well. They seem to have they've kind of covered the potential counter attacks that Drogheda have had in the game as well. And I think they've done that well as well, whilst trying to keep possession of the ball and play a bit more direct, which you need to do, I feel, in this league, especially current defenders. Because defenders will make mistakes in this league, you know what I mean? As we know, to be honest, so how many games you watch and see mistakes that cost teams. Parky go on for Sunday, playing a lot better. That's a good point, funny enough. Parkhouse must be looking at this game thinking, Jesus, if he's on for this game, I might have a better opportunity to score.
Yeah.
No.
UCD, your man there. That there.
That money though.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, it's basically it's a team for people at college in UCD. You know, you know, so they'll get.
It hasn't been a boring game anyway for a televised game. It's been good.
It hasn't, fairness, but
that's fairly open. But I suppose Drogheda's point of view, to be honest, Drogheda could probably do more. If I'm honest, they went in front, but it's their only real attack. They'd probably like to get in the ball a little bit more, to be honest, as well. Because we haven't seen a lot of Drogheda, actually. We've seen mostly Derry in the game, let's be honest, even though it's 1-0. Well, I don't think Tim Clancy will be happy with what he's seen so far. It's almost like they're a bit apprehensive because Derry have no points. And they're thinking, they could get something tonight, because at some point they're going to get something. So it's an interesting one, though.
Definitely.
League of Ireland will lack a star player this year, but how many? You don't know. Sometimes you don't know until the end of the year. He's after naming a few good prospects there. Dar Burns, Johnny Kenny.
Yeah, Johnny Kenny, Ryan O'Kane, yeah. Sligo and yeah.
Jack Byrne was the standout man, let's be honest. And McAniff wouldn't have been too far behind, actually. But you still have Duffy and players like that, so you don't know, like, if Dundalk get going, Duffy can still be amazing. I still think Duffy's actually played well in the majority of Dundalk games, but, it's not his fault if the team is malfunctioning completely.
Has Hoban scored this year yet? No?
Sorry?
He scored against us. Scored against us, the header from the free kick, wasn't it?
Did he?
Yeah.
Does Adam Foley top goal score by the end of the season?
I don't think he will. You? Be top scorer.
Probably not. I'll see how he gets on, but I think Hoban scored against us with the header from a free kick.
It was Hoban, yeah.
Yeah. If I was the back one, I really like Romeo Parks with Sligo. I liked him even the first season he was here.
The problem is he doesn't always play up front. I just wonder. I can't see Kenny, even though he's a young talent, playing. He's 17 up front all season for Sligo. I think Parks might eventually move in there a bit. He did at half time, didn't he, in their last game, for example?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Who else? Huban's funny. Huban doesn't seem to play well, but can pop up with a goal. You get me?
Yeah.
He's apart from that, I don't know. I don't see.
He scores tap-ins.
I don't see too many strikers scoring 20+ goals, though.
No, there's not many. Like, I think Coughlin will get a good few for Pats.
I don't think he'll hit 20 goals because
no, not 20. No.
And he doesn't take penalties this year either. Seemingly, he's not taking the penalties. So,
with Shamrock, you don't know who would ever, because they chop and change between Gaffney and Green so much.
Like, there's a lot of good forwards in the league. Like, Coughlin's a very good player, but he's not going to score loads of goals. Green is a very good player, but he's not going to score half full of goals. Who else have we got there? Like, Parkhouse has the potential, but I don't know if Derry have the creation for him to get 20 goals, basically. Foley will do well. I think he'll score a decent amount of goals, but will he get to 20? I'm not so sure.
It's just so weird, because with the likes of, like, look at Junior when he was at us, he was joint top goal scored in the league away with Patrick Hoban then, and now, like, I think, what was it? He got one goal with Sligo last year or so.
And that was 14 goals of our full season the top scorer had, which was unusual. Like, in the past, someone's hitting nearly 20 goals. Now Parkhouse got 19 that season, I think, but that was
high overall.
Yeah,
Junior was top, wasn't he?
Junior, sorry, I think they put it on there, but I think Junior got a hat trick to be joint in the last league game of the season.
Oh well, now you won't chat about that, because it was just it was an end of season match. Harps had nothing to play for. Europe, or Derry had to win to get Europe, which they did, and they beat us 4-1. And we had a full academy on the pitch.
Like, someone mentioned Macmillan there, and that's the funny thing. Like, Macmillan's capable of scoring. If he was with another team, he'd be capable of being top scorer in the league as well. That's the funny thing with Dundalk. Like, it just shows off the pitch stuff really doesn't help. I mean, Dave Macmillan and Hoban, for God's sake, to choose from. Nobody else has that. Not even Shamrock Rovers.
If Macmillan was at Shamrock, he would dominate.
Yeah. It's mad. Like Georgie Kelly and Bold. I think some of his performances have improved. Because, again, he's not going to get that many goals. Waterford have no way to score goals, really.
Yeah. John Martin, that's about it.
Goals. Who else? I think got through all the teams there. But
I think we got
someone
sort
gets Green, they'll be top scorer, I'd say, to be honest. First time to see Derry on TV, very young side, but give them a few seasons. Yeah, that's it. Like, I'm glad in a way the fans aren't at the Brandywell, because there would be a section of the Brandywell crowd that would be saying Divine.
Yep. there's half fans being like that, and then half of fans aren't like. And all together, like
every fan base is kind of like that, to be honest with you. But like,
you always have to go through a rough patch before you start to get a good number of seasons. Unless you're Dundalk or Shamrock, you can stay steady. But like, look how much Sligo were such a big team, and then they went off for about 5 years, like 5 or so. They were in the bottom 4 every year for so long.
But also, this is Liam Buckley's 3rd year at Sligo as well.
Aye.
So he's, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, 2 seasons at Sligo were very average. They were where they finished 7th or something, 8th maybe, in his first season as an example. So it takes time to build.
It's somewhere way Pats, like after Pats, like ever since probably the FAI Cup finals, like those years after for a while, they weren't always up there as much as they've been in the past number of years.
No.
And since he's had Kirsty Fagan and stuff, it sort of changed.
Yeah, that was a huge thing. Like to lose him through injury at an early age as well. Sad for him as well, to be honest with you. I think he'd only be 21 as we speak, would you believe? Which is mental. Like he's injured. His career is over by 3 or 4 years, which is disappointing from his point of view as well. But he's a real fox in the box now.
But that's amazing. Like
the thing with Derry is, I can see maybe some Derry fans actually that are too close to it find it hard to see when you're too close. But I can see at Derry there's a clear plan and identity for the future there. There's a path there. You can clearly see it, and you can't have a few bad results at the start of the season change because of that, That's the way I see it. Remember, for Ramblers fans, there was barely anybody getting into. When they're in promotion race, the numbers shot up. Yeah, they're your kind of Johnny come lately kind of fans, aren't they? They're the fans you need to get in nearly every week, though, isn't it?
What is it, sorry?
See the Brian there? I'll highlighted in the. See it there?
Oh yeah.
But that's the same with every club, though. That's the same with every club. Like Pats last year at a game. This is when we had crowds, for example. I went to 2 Pats games in a row at Richmond. And there was something like 3,000 in for the first game. They lost it. The following week, there was 1,000 in. So there was a 2,000 jump of fans because they lost the week before. And guess what? They won the week. There was 1,000 fans. I find that hard to comprehend. And it wasn't a steady number. Shamrock Rovers or anything like that. It was actually against Waterford. It wasn't even a derby. So, and you're going, it's bizarre. I don't get that.
It's the same between every match. Like, say if,
it's weird.
Especially up here, if it's the first game of season, you would get so many, and say if say the first game was say Shamrock Rovers, even though you might not have been expecting they won and if you lost, and then next week you're playing Pats, the numbers would have dropped. But then if you had a Europe game, say the stadiums were 1,000, you only had 1,000 people in, and 8 weeks later you have a Europa League qualifier. And the place is packed. Tickets are sold out within whatever.
It's irritating, to be honest with you, at times, isn't it, that part of it? Because there are people that actually do like the league, clearly. That's worse than people. If someone just doesn't like the league, have no interest in going to the league, they won't go. But clearly that's people have interest because they were there the week before. Yeah. So that makes it a bit more frustrating for me, from my point of view, anyway. Sligo, I was at Sligo on the dock for the FAI Cup semi-final. Was it 2 years ago? Sligo was packed. It was full to capacity. The following week I wasn't there now, but they were playing Shamrock Rovers at home in the league match, and there was 1,000 people there. So there was something like a 4,000 jump from that week to the next week. So clearly, that's a serious jump. Clearly, so just because it's a big match, but if you live in the town of Sligo or from Sligo and you like it, sure you can go most weeks. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. It was the same. When we played, Farps the other year there. Even though the weather was shocking, but it was the first league game, and then
crazy. The crowd, amazing.
And then the second time, then just the next match, just boom.
Yeah, that was a big crowd that match. That was when Kieran Cole, wasn't it?
It's the same. It's even the same for the away fans. I know a lot of people probably don't like journeys, they Dublin and this or that for like everyone just chops and chooses, even with fans for certain away games. Like St. Pat's, probably not as many, but when you hear first game of season, you're away to Shamrock Rovers, it'll get more people. But an away game they fan Harps, you'll have like we'll block out the whole away Harps away end.
Yeah, I understand maybe sometimes Friday night, say a team from Dublin or anywhere, let's say Derry is going up say to Finn Harps, that people may not be able to get up. That's a different thing. But when you see the crowds going down at home games from week to week, that's a massive drop. It's bizarre for me. Like it really doesn't make sense. Like
I think over the years, like about 3 years ago onwards, I even think for away fans, like say if fans were coming up here to Derry, you would have got so many. Yeah, like Pats would have brought like nearly filled that away end. Rovers would have, Shelburne, everyone. Like I think in the previous number of years, but not as many now.
No, it'd be mad when fans can go back. How long the novelty will be there for? I can guarantee you for the first few weeks anyway, it'll be hard to get tickets. When you can go back properly, like everyone can go back. Not just season.
It's sort of a good thing, but it's a bit of a sad thing. You would need a pandemic. They boost crowds again.
Yeah, and for how long though? How long will that like in that kind of way, like I know people say, and I do agree with it, the stadiums don't help. Even great stadiums, when I say great grounds like Dalymount Park and the history Dalymount Park has, and Ireland used to play there and all. And you look at Dalymount Park.
I love it now.
Here at Weeds, Jody sang grand, but everywhere else, and you're kind of going, it's annoying because if you're new and you come into that, you're probably going, what the hell is that like? You know what I mean? It doesn't help the facilities, but they can't do much about that though. Like, unless they get the finances, like, that's just years of neglect. I think it would help if every stadium was similar-ish to Tala Stadium. I don't mean necessarily every stadium is big, but had that kind of facility, essentially, I think we'd be doing well. I think Grover's crowds have improved greatly throughout the years because of the stadium.
Yeah.
Greatly. France is in the home state. It's not the only one. It is, but it's not their fault. They don't have the money. It's not their fault, but it is in the state. Like.
You see, Pats are trying to do the Richmond Arena. Yeah.
At least there's something going on with Finn Harps, as in, and it looks like that might come to pass. It'd be great, though. It'd be great.
Yeah.
If we get all these stadiums up to scratch.
It's well needed, Yeah.
Like the GA Stadium in Ballybuffet is probably in better nick, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 2 terraces, or 2 stands and 2 terraces, that's the way it is. The GA have that money, the FAI don't. That's the thing, And I see,
the FAI did have the money, they just won't put it in. Yeah.
That's it. The example would be like that. You have the Tala Stadium, which was built by the South Dublin Council, and then you have, say, who else? Say, for example, say the Brandywell was built by the council, not by the FAI or not there. It was all council money. So I mean, it says something when the FAI don't have enough money to help you build a stadium. It's just really. So like you have to do your own money, your own fundraising, and just it puts you in a tough situation, and you're relying on that money.
There have been a lot of talks over the past number of weeks, because like the chairman's looking at certain places away from the Brandywell.
Right.
Really? Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They've been looking at they've been looking at locations. They get their own stadium thing because even though it's fine to money, but Derry doesn't benefit with the whole council thing.
Yeah.
Derry pays to hold them the matches.
Yeah.
They practically pay, and then they only get say percent of tickets sold. But say if you have 1,000 people, 20% of that hardly covers one player's wage for a week.
That's not great.
That's not viable, that is it? No.
But it's annoying because because the Brandywell it's a decent stadium the way it is compared to most stadiums in our league, and traditionally the Brandywell and all that. But it's what minute are you on, by the way?
40 seconds.
46, 50 seconds.
I'm up.
Yeah, I'm 20 seconds behind you.
That's after knocking it off.
Hey, look, Ocean, guess what they do? So we're tell me when you're at the 47th second.
Right, 47.
Because then I'll go level with you.
Right, okay, I'm just at 55 now, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 47 now.
There. So and I'll be level with you, at least.
Count down.
Yeah.
There'll be no goals there, that's what'll happen.
Yeah. I sort of seen Shane Keegan there in the stand. Maybe I'm wrong. Keep an eye out for that, Keith. If you're behind there, I think I seen him on the stand there.
He
probably is.
That would make sense as well for him to be there because they're playing next week.
We play next week.
I hope he'll be sacked after Saturday. You know what? I think they're gone though, even though I don't think it's their fault because this crap of their one game away from getting the sack means inevitably you're going to get the sack at some point.
Yeah.
It's not this week, it's next week, or it's the next week. Like, they could win 2 in a row and lose the next match. Yeah. And then that's it, more or less. So I think he's gone. They're gone, really. But I don't know where they go from there. Like, what's the point, like, the way they're run? So
it's weird. You know what actually is.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Hey, if they're not, get rid of the managers, who will they get on?
They're going foreign again. Without question, they're going foreign. But it's like they're looking for a head coach so that they can run the team more or less. But Bill Hustler has a good influence in picking the team.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went for long.
They won't. No, honestly, they won't. They're actually looking at foreign alternatives, and that's literally it. It's like they're thinking we're going for a foreign manager, and that's it.
Ron's been there 7-8 seasons now. Like, I don't think he'll leave. Yeah.
I wonder if he'd even leave with that chance.
No, that's something. Yeah.
I don't go to the madhouse though.
Like, who is a League Ireland manager that like doesn't have a job at the minute? Like, you have your likes of your Roddy Collins, your Pete Mahon, you know. Who else is there? You know.
There's a question for you, Aidan. There, see it there. Have it highlighted there.
What's it?
What capacity do you think be realistic if they moved away from the Brandywell? What's a realistic capacity for Derry if they moved away from
what's the name? You know, where would they go? You know,
exactly. That's what I mean. I don't know where they would sort of go, but it's
where would they go?
It's part of that's what I mean. It's sort of similar to like the whole 5-year thing. Like they would they're thinking of if like the next between 5 and 10 years if they ever were. But there's supposedly they're looking at locations, but I don't know where you would go.
Yeah.
So I don't know where within like sort of Derry or what are you going to go over and they like sort of Donegal similar day when we were down near Buncrana?
Not a chance.
Big grand.
Jesus, my son crack or not?
Could you imagine? Yeah?
Actually, the GA ground is probably better than the Brandywell, you know.
No, the GA is just up a road, But that's what I mean with the whole. Like me personally, I wouldn't really like because it's the Brandywell. It's where we've always been. I wouldn't want it. I just don't like the whole thing with the whole council and stuff.
Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, I do see your point.
At the time, you were all for it because obviously the ground and stuff. But I thought certain things would have came on to play. Like Derry maybe start to get, more of a share in it at least.
So far, the second half has taken up the same pattern, really. Like it's mostly Derry on the ball. Drogheda aren't pressing at all, aren't they? Not though, really. If you look at it,
they're up near the box at the minute, but
because in general though, they haven't been pressing when Derry have the ball. They're sitting back a bit and letting them have the ball. In most other games, I noticed Drogheda have pressed the opposition on the ball. That's an interesting one.
They're just sitting back, hoping things fall for them. Like there now, we'll probably see we're crossing the box. you're hoping it just lands to them.
I wonder the fact that there's 3 games coming up this week. There's an element of we can't
side.
every game.
Oh, jeez. Well, no way. No, that couldn't be a penalty.
What minute are you on?
The 51st and 32nd.
And they're about 30 seconds behind. Oh, sure, you behind?
No, you'll see here now. Big yard side. It was a bit dodgy. I don't know.
No, I don't think it is.
Is it given?
No, it's not given, but just the way it was sort of like going on. But the Drogheda player just, trying to make the most of it.
Yeah.
Drogheda are attacking here. Obviously, I'm behind you here and coming in a minute.
Yeah, it's not too far after that.
No.
Drogheda player just trying to make the most of it.
Aye. Not really that either.
Me dog, come and they say hi.
Your dog? I can barely see him in there, yeah.
Your brother's team is doing well there. They're 2-0 up. Learn.
All right, and my cousin playing tonight too.
3-0 up, by the way. And Shelburne have gone ahead as well, by the way.
UCD are 3-1 up.
Oh, 3-1 now, is it?
Yeah.
Must have just scored, Cavantilli. I'm behind everything tonight. 70 minutes, by the way, in the Bray game, and Athlone are still winning. Actually, Drogheda have attacked a bit more the last few minutes, haven't they, Aidan?
Yeah.
They've been doing a bit more.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'd say from King Clancy's point of view, I'd say he wasn't happy, though, the fact that Derry were completely dictating the pace of the game in terms of possession on that. Yeah, Cavantilli scored. 3-1. Looks like Galway's only win of the season could be a game they didn't win.
I just noticed Shelburne were 2-1.
Yeah. Oh, Cork will be pissed if they lose that after getting the man sent off. As in, they were 1-0 up, weren't they, as well? So maybe the man was sent off, but even so.
Yeah. I'd like to see Parkhouse come on for like the last half an hour.
Not to be did. Do you know what? Boyce is doing very well in Mark Doyle. I know Drogheda haven't had a lot at the ball and a lot of attacking, but from
Boyce
what?
has been doing well,
Yeah, he's.
The Vine just gradually started to bring him through last year. He was on the bench, then.
He was actually one of the top 10 prospects for this year as well. So,
come on, Fitzgerald, do something here.
So Colin William has a hat-trick for UCD in the match against Cabo.
He's a good player, actually. He was far behind Maddie last year. He was only a goal behind him.
Yeah.
It's the way UCD plays well, in my opinion, though. It suits as well strikers. So, like Shelburne there, just looking up there, another 2 tonight. But Maddie and Michael O'Connor haven't scored yet.
Yeah.
Strikers have scored a goal this season yet. So
I thought McClelland probably would have done more for you, Keith, with Pats when he left UCD.
Wasn't really a fan. I'm going to be honest. No, not really. He works hard, but I wouldn't like him to have a good run on the team. I think Pat's results might drop a bit if he was in the team on a regular basis. He's all right, but he just, I don't know, he's okay. He's an average squad player, maybe, but I wouldn't like him. Fitzgerald's having a good game, actually, in fairness.
Yeah, he is.
He's doing really well.
It's hard. It's always hard to pick, particularly after 54 minutes, who you think is standing out. But for Derry, the 2 I picked so far, Fitzgerald and Boyce. Drogheda, probably no one really weirdly for Drogheda so far. They need to do more in terms of getting the ball, I think. You
can maybe say Brown just for the goal, but
a little bit. It's not bad, but there's no one on the day so far for Drogheda that's catching my eye as such. But that can change. There's only 55 minutes gone.
I say, well, normally you would always say like Drogheda would be happy with a point, but considering how bad we've been doing this year, but the way this is going, I'd say they'd be happy enough with a point.
4-1 now to UTE. Jesus, they're really putting it on.
I tell you,
Really
they're
can't wait.
another dark horse.
Yeah, I've noticed with UCD, and like they won like say 4-0, 5-0, and then the next week they get beat 3-0, 4-0. You know, very up
That's
and
the
down,
thing,
aren't they?
this year they haven't really lost a game like that yet. So I wonder if there's a maturity coming into their game a bit as well. If that's the case, they're serious.
Kyle Muckin saying there, like no shortage of goals in the first division. I mean, it is a very entertaining first division. You know, this year, like there's so many big teams in there, like you know.
And that's true. Last week, nobody got more than one goal in the first division. No team got more than one goal. I was shocked at some of the score. Like UCD drew 0-0 with Bray last week. I thought that'd be goal. You know what I mean? But, you know, it's so low there, isn't it? I wonder how Zalbu is going to be like this season.
Yeah,
Good reputation, but
they done that, man.
But it's more they don't look like a unit. Like it's all right having all these players, but I don't know.
What is he? An MLS All Star, whatever that means. You know what's that mean?
Pretty decent, to be fair. Wouldn't it? Like he's not even old. Like, what's happening inside that? Or did that happen 10 minutes ago? I wonder if Whelan got a fourth. No, Higgins. Another good player came in from Galway, actually.
Yeah.
So obviously, see, they benefit that way, UCD as well, because they benefit from players going to college in UCD. So they're like transfers. Sam Todd.
Sam
Todd,
and Higgins, etc. Yeah, and a young guy called Sean Brennan with Shamrock Rovers is a good young player as well.
Yeah.
Nick Kerrigan. Is it Liam you call him?
Liam Kerrigan.
Sligo?
Yeah, Sligo, man.
Yeah. They do have good players, to be fair, though.
Yeah.
It
is good to have them in the league, you know?
Yeah. I can understand why people don't like having them in the league, but look at all the players that produce for the league, like.
Yeah.
That go on to play for the top teams in the league.
Yeah.
Scales.
In Scales, yeah.
Even going back, like, you know, Shamrock Rovers and Dundalk, the cup final there 2 years ago, 8 players in the pitch were former UCD players. So, and sometimes you forget who's former UCD. Like,
how's that not a free kick, ref?
I didn't see
because you have Scales and then what do you call Neil Ferrugia?
Neil Ferrugia.
Yeah, Ferrugia's right. He hasn't kicked the ball this season.
No, he can't get a game now. He's
left
back as well, so Ronan Finn was playing, I think, ahead of him last year. Gary Neal was there too, Jesus.
They have Sean Cavanagh, he's come back from injury, playing very well.
Yeah.
Well, I think Ferrugia's also picked up an injury recently. What channel is it on? It's on RTE.
RTE2.
That boy there looks like they're
crazy.
A betting man.
And see, keep 5 minutes ago, Brian was all keep your slacking tonight. Keep up, man.
I am slacking, yeah.
Are you not watching it on RT, Keith?
Are
you not watching it on RT?
I wasn't earlier, but I am now because I forgot. I am now. Have you seen much of Yuri Natter from?
Yuri Natter. What?
You fell
almost fell. Oh my god.
There's other ones.
I've had a few of these. Fairness. One I fell for. I can't remember what it was, but I did fall for one then.
There's ones like there's a boy on TikTok there. Remember the Wolf Tones and he's about his 70s or 80s and he's getting filled by the people that are fitting in different dirty old questions and he's saying them. You know, he doesn't see any badness in them. But
How many Derry people, if you like, in that team? Derry natives, I suppose. You have Malone, anyway. Malone,
Malone, Yardside,
Bar.
and then
Well,
you
Bar,
Bar.
we don't basically say they're, from there.
You have Daniel Lafferty, Kieran Harkin.
Voice as well.
Boyce as well.
There's a few starting though, like there's 4 or 5 starting, isn't there? I can't just.
And then most of the bench will be just local Derry lads in, but starting wise, like Toll's not.
a Derry man.
Toll's from Antrim.
Yeah, he feels like a Derry man though, even though he's not. You know that kind of way.
He's from Antrim.
Armagh, isn't it?
Was it? Armagh or Antrim.
Armagh City, I came from Armagh City.
Armagh, that's what it is. Armagh.
But he feels like a Derry man, doesn't he?
He does. You do. You would think he was. You think he was from local. See your man O'Reilly. That's why Drogheda. That he used to be at Harps.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Harps. Well,
two seasons ago, I was at Harps, and then I went to Drogheda. And he got promoted with them then. Shelburne, yeah, it was Shelburne last year.
Did Drogheda make a sub at half time? Because Jack Touche was on a centre back.
No, I think Toot was already on.
Was he? Did he start?
Oh no, you're right. I know Hugh Douglas came off.
Oh, he
must have picked up.
Hugh Douglas.
See, I'm this with the volume down as well because it interferes with the thing, so you mightn't hear it, you know. But just know it was on there. Yeah? Douglas must have picked up an injury. Yeah.
He's be great if Treaty held out for that one, wouldn't it?
They might do. I mean, they haven't really conceded goals. Like
if they keep men on the pitch as well, that's a problem for them.
But it's still amazing that they're gelling, I suppose. What's this? Do you think if players stay longer in the League of Ireland that they will be less likely to return from abroad? Not particularly, no. To be honest, a player from the first division, would you like sign for a Premier Division side in a year's time? There's a good question. He probably means a young player as such, really. Probably someone at UCD. Kerrigan is very good. Collie Whelan maybe out too.
Yeah.
Who else? I'm trying to think. The teams. Like there's a lot of Premier Division quality players already at Shelburne, so I'm trying to ignore them.
Yeah. Like you're thinking why he hasn't really been in the league.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'd be thinking of, more young players who we haven't seen really play in the league much.
Yeah.
I like Andy Byrne at Cork. I know he was there last year, but he's only young.
Drogheda nearly scored there.
Good save from Garrett's side.
It's a more even second half, though, isn't it? I thought Derry.
James Brown again.
No. James Brown again. He should have scored.
Maybe that's his weaker foot, does it? Who knows?
Keith, I think we need to stop hyping up Brown. I think he's showing us here.
I think I've done it enough. I mean, I think I have him in 3 of my 4 team of the weeks, and I kind of go, not him again. But you have to pick who you think is the best performer, don't you? You can't just not pick him because you've had him in 3 times. But they did look a bit more dangerous, so Drogheda in the second half in the counter. I think first half.
Parkhouse was on now, Keith.
Yeah.
They brought on Parkhouse and Thompson, and then Drogheda took off Murray for Brandon Birmingham.
Birmingham's a bit of pace about him. Fitzgerald's doing well in those pockets, though. He's picking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have scored. You're right. I'm just hitting it now. He should have scored. If he goes from the far corner, it's a goal. He should have
went near post.
Did he not go? I'll see the replay now. I'll see the replay.
I think he headed straight at the keeper, to be honest. Or above the keeper.
Straight at the keeper, yeah. He didn't go for any call.
Above the keeper. No, he should have went near post or even far post, like.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed with that, but that's a let-off for Derry, really, isn't it, Aidan, I suppose?
It is. Bar and Akintunde came off for us.
I don't think Akintunde was offering much, was he, really? Let's be honest about it. I suppose young fella, you know. Thompson's another player you'd like to see do more, though. You know?
Yeah, I think Thompson's decent.
But that's what I mean. I think he's capable of better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he has something in him, all right, yeah. It's hard to know at this minute in time, not who a draw suits, but who's happier with a draw. I don't know. I'd imagine
I think there will be one more goal in the game. Whoever gets it will win.
Yeah. Like, would you take a draw now, as in you're thinking we need to get something here, or do you feel we can still win this game? You know, that kind of way.
No, one. We need it.
Yeah.
You need the one.
Yeah.
So it is. If it was like some Pats or something, like say if it was some Pats or Shamrock Rovers, you'd be taking a draw.
Or
something. No.
Well, do you know what? On form, Finn Harps, you wouldn't really you fancy Harps have beaten Derry in the last few weeks, though. So you know what I mean. You probably wouldn't be okay with a draw.
Well, if there's ever a time, this is Harps' best time they ever beat us in the Brandywell.
Have they not beaten at the Brandywell?
No.
Have they not?
No, draws.
That's what they were all hoping for until that last game where Walter. So it was.
Oh Jesus! Don't even chat. Oh my God.
Wait, that's Thunder Night. Well, the one.
Even Keith is slacking with the substitutions. Keith, see, Darrell and Brian are gone. Yeah, Sean, he's a Waterford fan. Yeah, I mean, Darrell Murphy, when I seen him come back.
Well,
he was injured again today. Like, you know, he's gone, really. Brian Murphy would be the bigger worry for them if he's injured for any time. Because I don't think Darrell Murphy is in a loss because I haven't really had him, if you get me. He's been
would you think Darrell be on big wages?
He can be on decent wages. Like he's picking up muscle injuries galore. And when you're that age and you're picking up muscle injuries all the time, you can't play.
Yeah.
Like, you can't play. Mobility's gone and everything. He's another one of those, you know, big name former Irish internationals to come to the league. And they just made even Damien Duff, like, and he was a far bigger name than Darren Murphy. He done nothing at Shamrock Rovers, like.
No.
yeah, true. Yeah, fair enough.
Ryan Manning's a good one as well, but he has to play well with golf before you think he could. He wanted to start against his calves to hold up and he got injured. But you see, there it is as well. You can't just, because Murphy wants to start a game, let's say, start him. You got to go with, you got to play fit players, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if he can't move anymore. He's gone. His calves are going on him. He's gone. You know, but Waterford are better off kind of forgetting about him and trying to play John Martin or whoever it is up front.
John Martin, yeah, he's played the last few matches.
Yeah, he's got a couple of goals as well. I know he played today as well, but there's no point trying to fit Darren Murphy in. I don't think it's just not going to work. Like they're probably better off.
Waterford always had a good few players, like young ones like Wilson when he went to Bose this year. He had a good season this year.
Tyreek, is it?
Tyreek Wilson.
That was the chairman's fault, though, because of the contract situation at the club. They're after losing all their best players. And
what's his name again? Power, is it?
Yeah, they haven't replaced them because the batch of players that are there now, they're not all bad, but they're nowhere near as good as the batch they had last year.
Yeah.
You know, there's no Ali Coote as such. There's no Tyler Wilson.
Sam Bone is gone too.
Bone, They did some good, like Dara Power and that. There's some good young players coming up through the ranks.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a tough season. I think if they stay up, I think they'll be doing very well. Like, really, like.
Yeah, I tapped down to be down near the bottom, I
was surprised, Keith Way, like how much Rory Feely moves around. Pats, Waterford, and then came back to Pats, and then goes to Bose.
In the space of 3 years. The problem was, not the problem, but the reason why he went to Bose is he's a teacher. Bose train at night. So
is that what he is? He's a teacher?
They're part-time,
instead of being completely full-time at Pats, Bose are kind of still full-time to a degree, because they still pay players. It's just they train at night. So Rory Feely wanted to go back into teaching, and I suppose if you can play with Bose, and go and do teaching.
That's the same the way. Wasn't it Conan Byrne? He was a teacher.
Yeah.
He's a Glenavon now.
Is he playing there though? Is he getting
Yeah.
games? He's getting games.
I think he scored the other week there.
Jamie Mack. Because he was finished. Like I
Yeah,
think
he'd be a good age.
yeah, he was gone. Like so.
He'd
Glenn
be-
Adams was good, though.
What age would he be? 36, 37, maybe.
36, is he? Must be about 30.
Then Alvin, they're mid-table, I think, the Irish League.
That's not bad. I think there's a gap though in the Irish League. I think there's a lot of poor teams in the top division as well.
Yeah.
Isn't there? In fairness, there's a gap.
Glenavon have a few former players. Your boy, as a Greg, you call him Murhouse, that them ones.
Hi,
He was a
Murhouse.
Sligo.
Yeah,
And then he
Sligo,
was
yeah.
a striker.
Larn have a few ex-Derry players, Ronan Hales in that squad,
Hales.
as well as
Ronald Hales
well
is bangers, isn't he?
He scored a good goal the other week.
I've seen that. Yeah, he doesn't score enough, but when he does, they're usually from outside the box.
he scored there tonight, so they're 4-0
He
up
scored
there.
then.
Larn, yeah.
His brother there as well. Yeah, his brother's there, isn't he?
As I don't know, Ronan and
No,
Ryan.
he's a Clifton Bull.
Is it
Isaac.
Clifton?
Yeah.
Oh, big chance there for Derry. Jeez.
Like that doesn't help there if this is true. Just this is about Waterford as well. Big fight in the training ground. Hit Brennan. Brennan walked off and didn't play today. So I don't know what happened to him.
He's
Seems
not
to be
good.
interviewing us. Like
That's
Yeah.
I won't be
Oscar
sure.
Brennan. That's Oscar Brennan.
I'll tell you this though, I'd be surprised, and it might necessarily be his fault, but I'd be surprised if he's there for the full season at Waterford as well.
Yeah.
I think he probably might walk at some stage, to be honest.
Rory Hill's going.
Rory,
I like your boy Sabo. He played well last year.
yeah,
He's
he's
good.
Oh, so well, he was at Harps as well. For a spell, he was good.
Get in the Hearts weirdly, didn't he not?
Yeah, he was off the bench.
Yeah.
Very easy bench. That was 2 years ago, or 3 years now.
What odds
That's
and
fast.
Parkhead's
What? What do you say?
What odds and Parkhead's getting the winner?
Ooh,
See that?
put a tackle on Brown.
Dirty man, dirty.
Rep didn't give any anyway.
What minute is it?
74.
74th exactly.
73, 31. Derry are piling it on a bit though now, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
that's
there,
much nice.
balls fell across the box.
It'd be interesting to see if that's the shape for the last 20 minutes roughly.
15 there in that hash, probably. Yeah.
Red card for Bray apparently, but they're 2-1 down in the last minute.
Brian made a good. I just seen there now like a good point with Jamie McGrath.
Teams can't afford younger Irish internationals because the way they're on. Bigger, smaller teams. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Red card for Bray as well.
The only teams that can really afford half decent wage, like Jack Byrne, for example, people are saying he's out in Cyprus. What's the point? Because he's on something like 15 grand a week.
Yeah.
And Rovers 3 or 4, maybe.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Crazy like.
Point. It sounds like a funny move, but you're getting 15 grand a week to play football in Cyprus. Sign me up.
Yeah, exactly. Better. I did better
It's hot
weather out
weather.
there too. Exactly.
He's out injured now, can enjoy himself. I just find those things odd, and you just don't know. An individual, they might say, why didn't he want to go to England? Well, he just simply didn't want to go to England. He was there before, maybe he doesn't want to go again. So
Chris Lyons coming off for Drogheda.
Danny
Yeah,
Corker.
see that guy. Adeyemo coming on there. Jordan Adeyemo.
Adeyemo. Come on.
Adeyemo coming on. Interesting.
Yeah, young enough.
Got a bit of pace about him.
Archie, whatever happened, they as they playing with Letterkenny Rovers or something, your boy Banda. Whatever happened?
Yeah, Letterkenny Rovers, yeah.
Like, why is he not with anyone?
I don't know what happened, to be honest. He's in college there. He's in Letterkenny. Still, I think he might be graduating now, but Yeah, he was at Letterkenny Rovers. After he was there the season after he got promoted. That was 2016, and then he was away. Then hasn't been back since. Yeah, it's a strange one, but I think he's playing Ulster Senior League at the minute. But he's a bit of a cult hero now. To get that goal against Limerick. But no.
That the playing the Ulster Senior League and the Leinster Senior League and all those senior leagues, even Munster Senior League. But it's not that they're not good enough sometimes. It's just it doesn't suit them to play League of Ireland a lot of the time, or they don't trust in terms of how much they're going to get and rely on it and things like that, and just don't have the head to go and play League of Ireland.
Brown took a hand there now. What our players was it?
Yeah, I think it was there.
He took a hand out of patching, I think it was.
It's hard to see a winner, though. I don't know if.
I don't know.
At the minute, neither. It's hard to see, like.
Yeah. Like, I think if it did finish 1-1 at the end, I think from a Derry point of view, you'd be content that you didn't lose the game as a starting point, at least if it finished 1-1. I know Drogheda would be a bit happier because of the start they've had and 8 points. Lovely kind of a thing, 4 points from the last 2 games. But you need to get something if you're Derry. You need to get something, even a point. If they were to lose it now, it'd be disaster, really. And fairness, second half's more even. I think first half, I think Derry bossed it really more or less, but second half is more even, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, it was a good pass here now. Come on, do something with it. Come on.
I took too much out of it, didn't I?
How are you feeling about the Sligo game, Rush?
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's always been a good battle into the years, it'd be good to. I'd say, I don't know. I can't say us winning the match, to be honest, but who knows? I'd take a draw, definitely take a draw,
Funny, because I think I went for Sligo and the other 2 lads went for a draw, and if Finn Harps win, so we've all the results covered.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah,
I predicted a draw.
Yeah, but to be honest, I say this every week. It's so hard predicting these games. Nearly every game could potentially go either way.
That's up there.
No shock for me. Now, don't get me wrong. If Longford were to win last time away to Shamrock Rovers, I'd be shocked by that. But in general, most weeks, you're not really shocked by results.
No, that's it. But
it's great though. That's the great thing about it as well. At the same time, it's
Darren Murky's off now, Keith.
I don't think Markey has. I know he's a strap in his leg there, hasn't he? His left leg. I don't think he's been really at his best tonight there, but
he was.
He can be. I remember from Pats, he can be a bit frustrating. He can do good things, and in the same breath, do something really simple that's really poor. It's just he can be one of those players but he went stale at Pats as well. I think he might be enjoying his football a little bit more. I don't know. Be interesting dynamic this week though, because you've got 3 games now, full fixture list on Tuesday night as well.
Yeah.
And 4 games of the weekend, so it'd be interesting what the table is like after these 3 games.
I'll say. Derry definitely putting the pressure on here now.
Did he give it for a handball?
I think it was offside, to be honest.
No, I think he gave it for a handball because it did look like it came.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Keith can be the replay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm watching out for
Keith's VAR.
Yeah. Behind, clearly. Are you happier with the Derry performance, though, as a whole?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the next game against, actually? I haven't checked all the fixtures as such. But
Dundalk, Derry, Dundalk, and then Harps of.
I think we're home again.
Well, you are. There'll be 3 home games on the
Home to
trot.
Dundalk, and then away to Sligo and home to Wolves.
he's given excuse me, Troll's coming in. He's given it for handball, actually.
Is it? Yeah.
To be honest, it was. He doesn't complain either, though. Arsenal fan here. What's that? Arsenal fan here, mate. You start watching a lot more Irish footy after your interview with Robbie. Big up to all 3 of you. Cheers, man. Hope you weren't put off in the Irish game anyway. That's an interesting one, actually, though, isn't it? Like, he's obviously an Arsenal fan and that, and it's interesting. He's taking an interest in the league now. Yeah.
Great to me. I'm an Arsenal fan too. I'm an Arsenal fan too, so.
Sorry to hear that. It's a struggle for them, isn't it, at the moment? Not doing well at all.
I got a good one last night, so.
That's good. The good news is Spurs are losing there as well, so.
Hey, Rahul, if you're still there, just best advice any fan can give you: just don't watch Van Herps.
Watch anyone. There's someone there saying Daniel Kelly was playing Leicester Senior League a few years later. He's playing Europa League. Yeah, but funny with Daniel Kelly, right? Mm-hmm. He's not getting a kick at Dundalk. I'd take him all day long, for example, or any club.
I think he's no joke, but he's been a bit of a forgotten man.
I honestly think it's because he's Irish. I know that sounds funny, but they have this thing suddenly where we must play all the foreign players at Dundalk, and some of those players are getting forgotten about. But these are the players that kind of won a lot for you and played for the team, if you get me, etc. Well, I reckon the chairman there probably can't play. Okay, I know Kyle says he's injured, but even before that, he was starting to lose his place anyway and getting phased out to some degree, I thought.
Kelly probably be away in the next year or 2.
I think next year he will be gone, yeah. I could see him got goals for some reason. I could just see that happen. He was there before, but I could see that happen. James Coleman got a great assist for Everton. Man, James.
Seamus Coleman. That game out. Tottenham was only after scoring.
2-2 there.
Oh, for God's sake. I'll tell you what, they'd be lost without Kane, wouldn't they?
Oh, wouldn't they? Jeez, and they know about even now if they don't get top 4, so you know.
Hey, out there 2-2. I won't cry over a draw in that game.
Yeah.
I can see Decky's going crazy on the sideline, telling Derry to push up.
Oh, they're trying to win the game, there's no doubt about it. Drogheda look like they wouldn't mind, they're not defending deep, but it's a strange one. They're kind of in between 2 stools, I think, Drogheda a bit. They're kind of thinking, we could nick it, but then again, you know what, a draw would be all right, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say they'd be happy enough with a draw.
I think, probably would. Let's be honest about it. They've only been beaten once so far.
They play Shamrock Rovers next.
That'll be difficult for them, to be honest.
They're home.
Yeah. If they get anything, that's a bonus, but if they're beaten there, they won't mind, just move on to the next game. They've had a good start.
They've Shamrock and then Dundalk.
Dundalk be a good one, being a derby as well. It's pity fans in, obviously, because that was a big derby when you get fans in, to be fair.
That'll be a good match because obviously Dundalk haven't been the same, but Drogheda give them a good game, I'd say, this year.
But could you imagine fans with Drogheda ahead of Dundalk in the league? It'd be interesting. Because there will be ahead of them. Even if the Dog won the next 2 games, they'd be behind Drogheda. Which is mad. But that's an underrated derby, by the way, Drogheda and Dundalk.
I watched the friendly there before the season started. I really enjoyed the match. You know, not good news, is it, Aidan?
Who would you say, Aidan, have been Derry's best players during the game? Your opinion?
If I was to choose one,
Yeah.
like to me, Fitzgerald would be like the standout.
Pretty well.
Yeah, he picked up good positions. Funnily enough, I think he could have done with a Parkhouse up front because Fitzgerald, he was picking up good positions in the hole and turning, but then there was no one really to find.
No, exactly.
But encouraging from that point of view and from their point of view. It's a funny game, though. There was too many great performers individually. Ooh, I'm behind.
Great chance there, wasn't it? Say nothing.
Again, James Brown was involved.
Yeah, I thought I was in, you know.
James Brown has been really well for Drogheda.
Yeah, he is a top 3 or 4 player, isn't he? You can see he's got that quality about him, though.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, Decky Devine not happy in the sideline.
I know. Slag will probably come on for Brown or something. Probably.
He
I
definitely
think they have a good relationship.
he's getting their team for sure.
Trini might hold on to that one night, you know. They're hold on to the lead. They're still 1-0 up there, so.
Wexford got all back, incidentally.
Yeah, I see that. Making
Yeah.
things interesting.
Yeah.
UCD match is over, I'd say, you know.
Only one home team.
Jack Malone's been involved in some challenges tonight. He's given away a lot of fouls and then a lot of tackles been on him.
That's right, Keith. There, only one home team winning.
Just got to be disappointed if they lose that because I'm just looking at the table. And
yeah,
apart from obviously their win against Cabo as such, like they haven't actually won as such. You know, they've 3 points.
Shelburne got a third there now, so they won in the bag anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to judge Cork tonight because Shelburne are a good side and maybe they battled well in the match, you know.
Yeah, well, they've a red card as well since the 30th minute, which doesn't help them, you know.
Yeah, that's a killer.
What's up with Parkhouse and the big long throws? He always takes these long throws now.
Especially Parkhouse. I want him in the box, like.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, we need Tony McNamee for them.
Yeah, that's all you good for.
As well, though.
Hey?
McElhenney can throw them reasonably far as well, so if a few.
Webster too, he can do them, you know. Ethan Boyle too as well this year, you know. We have a lot of options in that department, you know.
The long throwing department.
I remember a few years ago, Harp scored against Derry. From us throwing, it was McNamee with the ball in, you know. Which is always good, you know.
Get that in there.
Of course, especially.
You've just seen Brian there saying in the comments there was a petition to get the Dundalk chairman sacked.
Yeah.
Is he? Is
that
Magilton, or is that the Americans, or?
I think it's just to get Pete 6.
This would be Bill Hustler himself, the main man. It's not really Pete 6, Pete 6, but it'd be him himself. Like he's definitely having influence in terms of team selection, which is just crazy. It's not champion.
Yeah, like, there was jokes made about, you know, the tea ladies are picking the squad and stuff, like, you know, and that's bad. That's looking bad. Like looking at the league from the outside, that's just bad there. Like people laugh at that, you know. Anti-League Ireland fans be laughing away at that, like, you know, it's just, you know, it's not good, you know. You'd hope, you know, hopefully they'll get. I don't know. I don't see them beating Pats tomorrow either, you know.
Yeah, if I was completely neutral, I'd fancy Pats not losing, but when it's your own team, you're not sure.
Yeah.
You know,
I can see Pats winning. I say about 1 or 2-0, like, but you know, it wouldn't be a
You just don't know Dundalk. If they click on the day, they will beat anybody
That's
more.
it, yeah.
They've got the players.
Well, the players, massive players in there. Like, they still have the Bucks, their squad from the last few years. You know, your Paddy McElhinney.
First goal be key. If Pats get it, I think they'll probably win the game. It's Dundalk. You know yourself the way they are at the moment. But Dundalk get it. They haven't been in front this season. So if they go in front, they might turn into a different animal.
Keith Umari scored the third goal.
Oh, really? So that's the first time
penalty
scored.
Oh, penalty, yeah. They all penalties.
Athlone Town, top of the league, not a bad record. 10 points out of 12. You know, not bad.
And they've had tough fixtures, by the way, on paper.
Yeah, big Galway 3-1. That was a crazy result. Didn't see that coming at all.
Bray haven't won this season, actually.
No, they drew 3 times now, and then lost tonight. Yeah. Oh,
when I look at that, that could have been a penalty there. When I look at that close, the replay.
I thought it was a penalty. Yeah,
at the time, I didn't maybe think, but when I look at it close now with James Brown, the tackle.
I need to see it again. Yeah, Derry didn't.
I know you'll see a replay now. Like the 92nd minute, 30 seconds.
Hey, what's he going to say? Yeah, Derry didn't complain though, which is always interesting, isn't it?
No, but when you look at it now, we look like probably should have had that penalty.
Let's see, did he get the ball? He got the ball. I think he got the ball before him. Yeah. I think he got the ball before. Yeah, contact was made. There was contact, though, I think.
3-1 anyway against Galway.
That's great. Geez, that's a great role there for Treaty. Yeah, fair play to them. You know,
they've conceded 1 goal so far. And by the way, Treaty have had players sent off in 3 games this year as well.
Galway scored. I think Galway scored.
Did they?
Oh no!
Just there now, 1 each. 93rd minute. It just came up like chance. It went yellow. You jinxed it. You boys jinxed them.
Oh, Jesus. It says dangerous attack here. It doesn't say anything else.
Says
Jesus. Is it?
1-1, yeah.
He's jinxed it.
Jesus.
Anything else you can jinx? Culver 2-1 up against Wexford.
Jinx and say Derry will score.
Well,
who was it? Caleb said in the comments there, there's some result for Treaty, so I thought it was over.
Same here.
Yeah.
It's
annoying there though, wasn't it? It's annoying. It's over now.
Over in Galway. They finished.
That's annoying there, like, you know. But then again, it is good.
Game over, Keith.
Oh, Tim Clancy and Devine have
It's a full time, yeah? There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Tim Clancy and Devine having a wee snap at each other there.
And this happens all the time. Do you know what? You notice it a lot, especially with no fans.
Yeah.
You hear what managers are saying and stuff like that.
So yeah, and you hear players shouting and stuff. Yeah.
Just get that. But like overall, I mean, like obviously 1-1. I got the prediction dead on, by the way. I said it'd be 1-1. I'll take it because I don't get many right. Like from a Derry point of view, like is it just satisfied, not overly delighted, obviously, but not hugely disappointed type thing?
No.
Sort of like you're sort of glad to get off that 0 point mark, but we should have won. Like I know you can say we Drogheda with that Brown chance and stuff, but I think we still should have won.
Yeah.
And that first goal,
very first half, but I thought second half, to be fair, I thought was even second half, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, it's pretty even.
What did you think, Coach, by the way?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a point for Derry, and sure they'll build on that now. I mean, I was hoping for a Drogheda win, but sure, you know, nothing I can do about that.
But I suppose Yeah, exactly. But
it's fair enough. Like, it's probably a fair result, you know.
overall, maybe, yeah, it's hard to know. But obviously, Drogheda would be happier overall.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, Derry are up against Dundalk next to the Brandywell as well, and you just can't judge Dundalk. If Dundalk were to beat Pats tomorrow, you'd probably be more worried then if you're a Derry fan, because you're thinking, oh crap, Dundalk might be starting somewhere again.
It's good to see Derry. Well, I mean, Derry got a point on the board now, so I mean, it's something to build on, you know. At least they have a point on the board.
Like, even if Dundalk, but that's what I mean. Like, even if Dundalk lose to Pats, like Dundalk will still be looking at Derry thinking we need to win. Either way.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting match.
How long are Dundalk going to go without bloody winning a match? Like, I'm nearly going to sit here and guarantee they'll either win tomorrow or win against Derry. Like, I can't see them not winning one of the games. Like, it's just that's the thing as well. There's just too much quality. You're surely going to win a match at some point. Like,
yeah.
So I suppose that's the worry. Like, I think they'll have Shamrock Rovers on Tuesday as well. So that's going to be a difficult one for them. But if they lose that, it doesn't matter in a way if they lose, because they're still, it's a good start. That'd be 8 points, and obviously 2 defeats, like, you know, if they were to lose Rovers. So they're in a situation where they can afford to lose, if you understand what I mean. Even this early, I think, against teams like that. Derry and Dundalk got Tuesday.
Yeah.
They've got each other, haven't they? Yeah.
They're playing each other, yeah.
We have allowed Derby next Saturday, and Drogs need to put them in their place. By the way, Kyle, is that in United Park? Wouldn't that be some crack, though, if for some reason the management went after the Drogs or something? The Dundalk management. He jinxed that Dundalk won't win either.
It's an Oriole Park.
That was my point. That's what I'm trying to do.
It's an Oriole next Saturday, Keith.
It's an Oriole. Yeah. I don't know, how much does home advantage really come into it at this minute, do you think?
Well, no fans.
There is no home advantage. Like, the only type of, I know, maybe home advantage you have is probably like teams having to travel.
Yeah.
Not much.
Yeah, I know teams can say still they're familiar with the ground and all, but in the League of Ireland, like, everyone's kind of familiar with most of the grounds as it is, and there's a lot of changes with teams and stuff like that. Like, would you notice such a difference between Finn Harp's home and away this season in performances, really?
Well, not really, no.
No.
Not really, no, to be honest. But they say, you know,
like they won Oriole Park, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, and hopefully we get a draw or a positive result tomorrow. You know, but I mean, yeah, there probably isn't much of a difference without any fans. You know,
that's a good one on Tuesday as well. Actually, Sligo and Bowls. I know we've got the weekend, but Sligo and Bowls, because that'd be an opportunity for Bowls to try and reload Sligo, who they've started better than.
Even with Harps, I know with Finn Harps tomorrow, but Ollie might already have an eye on Longford on Tuesday night. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They play Longford on Tuesday, and he'll be probably expecting to get a 1.
Yeah.
Really where the squads are going to start to come into effect now with the 3 games over the next week.
Yeah, like, you know, you had first 4 matches, you know, every Friday night, you know, nothing in between, but now you have your midweek matches coming into play now, so yeah, you'll see
that's probably why Decky might have rested Parkhouse, because he might weigh Dundalk and Sligo next.
Yeah, it could be, big decision as well.
Like, like squads, you can never tell until later on in the season in terms of squads, I suppose. Someone said Todd Fitzgerald should have won man of the match. Who did get man of the match, by the way? Because I had the volume turned down. Did they give much more?
I didn't even hear of a man of a match in the game.
No.
Dylan might say there. Anyway, obviously Fitzgerald did man of the match. I'm trying to think. Honestly, like, Brown was definitely the best.
Patcham.
Was it Patcham got man of the match?
Yeah. I don't know.
Nah, I wouldn't agree with that.
I'm not sure about that.
No.
Only thing it really done is put the cross in for McJanet. I would give Fitzgerald probably.
Fitzgerald seemed to do a lot of the running as well.
Fitzgerald for Derry, Brown for Drogheda, and there was another player for Derry that I liked. I thought played up fairly well. Boyce. I thought Batcham was okay, but
Even the commentary saying whoever like Patching played all right, but whoever chose that, we need to have a word with him. They thought, which I'd sort of agree, James Brown. They said they think James Brown should be man of the match.
Yeah.
Potentially, but I thought Fitzgerald. For me, Fitzgerald, James Brown, but Patching wasn't a Patching either.
No.
Jesus Christ.
You like that one?
No, I don't know.
James Brown did play well.
Yeah. Like do the team of the week and all this, and I know there's games to come, but it's probably highly unlikely Patchin will be in my team of the week, put it that way. And then he's getting man the match in RTE. I know it's opinions and all that kind of thing, in fairness on that, but I just thought.
That's even a surprising thing you would nearly think about for even, like compared to every other year. It's probably, I don't think any Derry player's been on any team of the week so far.
I don't think it's on your mind. I've had one. I've had one. Can you guess who? I've literally had one, yeah.
McJanet?
No.
Hey.
No. Gartside. I thought he played well.
Right.
I thought he played well, but it was also in a week where there wasn't a brilliant goalkeeping performance. But he'd done nothing wrong for goals. He made a couple of good saves, and I thought he commanded his area well in that match. But coupled with the fact that it was a week where there was no goalkeeping performance that stood out. So I thought he was technically the best goalkeeper that week. But apart from that, there's been no outside player that's even had a squeak, if I'm honest, so far. He wouldn't have. It's been fair few Finn Harps, I have to say. I actually keep a log of them as well, so I've them all written down. I know they're on the videos, but I couldn't be going back at the end of the season looking at all the videos to see who's in the team of the week. But just as a matter of interest, who kind of gets in the most by the end of the season, it's interesting to see. But
it might help you do a team of the season. Then it might help you that way.
If I'm honest, possibly, yeah. If I'm honest, Brown and Forrester have had 3 out of 4 so far, and after that, I think Foley's had 2, for example.
Yeah.
I've got a different goalkeeper every single week, literally. Dylan, which I'd get a good view up in the show against Tuesday. Probably would.
The commentary are still going on about Brown man of the match. They're talking about it now to Tim Clancy.
I tell you, if I have to pick him again in this team of the week, flipping hell, that'd be 4 out of 5 if he's in it.
Yeah.
I'm nearly Brown. I'm nearly looking to give it to another right back, but another right back will have to perform. Boyce did well, to be fair, but you probably have to put Brown out of him.
He'd still do Brown because he got the goal too.
Yeah,
and he nearly got a second.
Should have got a second, I would suggest. Yeah, and he was involved with the move with Birmingham, wasn't he, as well, for the shot? So, and he defended well as well, to be fair. Someone else was going to have to open it right back to make me pick someone else, because it's weird. You get sick of picking the same one, but if that's the player you thought was the best that week, there's no point not picking him either, just because you had him.
No, exactly. Like if someone's consistent, you can't.
Yeah. But it also heightens the idea as well that they're not keeping on to him next season. In fact, I wonder if they probably have a contract till the end of the season, I'd imagine. I was thinking the summer. But but you're kind of looking at him as well. If he keeps playing like that till the end of the season, you're kind of looking as a possibility abroad as well for him. That's the mad thing. Who knows? But he's only 22 as well. But
they're really talking about as well about that penalty appeal to Gartside. Like Clancy thinks that should have been a penalty.
Does he?
Yeah. Well,
they're talking about it.
Who's the actual commentator? The co-commentator? I wasn't because I had to turn down.
Colley and what do you call the other guy? I forget his name.
Colley would have given the man the match.
Sadler, is it? Is it Richie Sadler?
No, it's not Sadler. I forget his name. Black hair fella.
Oh, Stewie Byrne.
Byrne.
He was the man. Well, we don't know who gave him man the match. It was probably, I don't know. It was probably Colley, I'd say.
No, it wasn't Colley. I mean, Colley was saying like whoever chooses him to be man of the match, you need to have a word with, because they thought it should be Brown.
Okay. So it'd be interesting to see. Yeah. And not only that, though, I don't even think Patchin was Derry's best player. I honestly thought Fitzgerald was the one who tried to make things happen, and did make things happen. So, sometimes it can be a bit strange what decisions people give on that.
I wonder what Devine's excuse is this time.
Well, he's talking at the minute.
Oh, the pitch was bad. Oh, what's he gonna say?
The brand new pitch is always bad.
Oh, there was a strong wind in our face in the first half, and it really affected us. You wouldn't know what excuses he pull out. But I don't know. I'd say a draw is a fair result overall. You know, you don't want to see a team, regardless of if it's Derry or not. You don't want to see a team struggling at the bottom with no points. You want to see you want to keep it interesting. Like you don't want people running away with it either up the top.
Derry, I've no issue with that. I don't know where they're going to finish, but I've no issue that Derry are going to finish 9th or 10th. They're not going to finish. They are going to finish higher without question. Be it 6, 7, 8. Longford will finish behind them. Waterford will finish behind them for sure. After that, who knows?
If it was an 18, if there was like half a season, then you'd be worried.
Possibly, potentially. You stream Dundalk games. Dundalk and Bowls was the other week there. We did that one. So it just depends. I pick different ones on Friday night. Usually I try to mix them up there as much as I can. Like I've had 6 different teams so far. So I wouldn't like to do the same team every week, to be honest. So I probably won't do one on Tuesday, to be honest, because Tuesday's an awkward night, isn't it? Not the way we did the review in the preview show. Tuesday games makes that a bit messy.
As Friday night, as Shamrock and Bowes not on TV, you could probably do that.
I'd have to do Shamrock Rovers and Bowes, let's be honest, wouldn't you? It is. Yeah, you're right. It's.
I think it's on TV as well.
I think it's this time Friday night as well, as such.
Right.
Second game,
Keith, as both matches now, because Van Herps play St. Pat's at 6:15, and then that match is on right after.
Next Friday. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you have that right. I'll just check now.
There's back-to-back games. Herps against Pats, and then Rovers against Bowes.
I can relax for Finn Harps and Pats and watch it, and then do a watch along for Bowles and Shamrock Rovers. Definitely, you'd have to do that one. Yeah. I'll try and get
Tuesday then. Leave Tuesday then a double header.
Yeah, the double header would be tough though. I think mentally, you know what I mean?
Your head.
You know the way with the 3 games usually on Saturday at 6 o'clock. I watch them all, but it can be tough sometimes watching them back to back, if you know what I mean. But I do watch them all. Sometimes I leave them to Sunday. Depends on my mood, like in that. But see, the problem is you know the score because you're bloody watching the game and they're telling you the score updates elsewhere. Which is nice.
Keane always says he's turned off or putting his phone on airplane mode.
Yeah. But the commentator says the scores anyway.
That's the thing. Yeah.
And I couldn't sit there and watch a game with no commentary. It's different when I'm doing a watch along. But if I'm actually sitting here just watching the game with no commentary, I just couldn't do that. Lads, what's happened to Dundalk? You tell us. We talked about them there before, didn't we? We have no momentum, need a first win. Yeah. A win tomorrow night would be welcome for them, let's be honest, because you're playing a decent team on form. So if they get a win there, it's a good win for them as well, I think, anyway. So,
definitely,
yeah, but look, nothing surprises me. They've got the players to win, so you just don't know. Just have a quick look at this first division table. Actually, they don't have Galway updated here, but they have 5 points.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Otherwise,
No, with the likes of I don't even know who was that guy scored for Galway? What Weary or something?
Wilson Weary.
yeah, I can't pronounce his name. He said
as a tongue twister.
I hate some of them.
Wilson
Weary. They've signed all those kind of foreign players, and you hadn't heard the commentator pronounce them. Very difficult. Like you're on the show and you're going the right back from Latvia. You know what I mean? Especially when you don't hear them pronounced. Like
you feel like Paul Merson on Soccer Saturday because he can't pronounce the names.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I tell you, Brian Kerr struggles as well. So Paul Merson won't be able to pronounce Seamus Coleman, to be fair. No, tables aren't updated. But Athlone are top of that, though, aren't they?
Yeah, top of 10 points out of 12. And then UCD, Shelburne on 8 points.
Yeah, that would be right. Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Treaty are in there too.
God, we won't want to fall too far behind. I tell you, they're lucky they're on 5 points. Oh, no, sorry, hang on. They are 5 points, yeah.
Yeah. With that one, yeah. So they'll be ahead of, they'll be just in 6th place.
I'm starting to wonder the way they're playing at the moment. If everything was okay with Cabinteely, would they have actually beaten them? I'm not sure. I wouldn't put money on it. Like
Cork Treaty next week away.
I can't see Cork winning that for some reason either. Is it Cork? You said, yeah. I can't see Cork
away to Treaty.
I can't see the winning it. I don't know what it is.
Friday night.
I'd put a draw on that one.
Who did Bray play?
Galway play UCD. I'll be a tough one for them again.
Kind of have to win that as well. Who did Bray play actually?
I think was it Wexford?
Oh, they have to win that. They really have to win that.
Cove.
Oh, Cove. Even that, Cove have had they're ahead of them. Cove are ahead of them in the league, but they've had a tough enough start with some bad results, like Bray have drawn them.
I think Bray played them on Saturday night. It's Saturday they play.
Cove play Saturday night.
That's interesting because most of the games have been on Friday night so far in the first division.
Yeah, it depends when it falls. I think Wexford play on Saturday night too.
Yeah.
Last year, Cove do anyway.
Quick look at the Premier.
Yeah, see when that new stadium gets built.
What's that?
See when the new stadium gets built between Shelburne and Bowes. They'll have to work something around that as well, where you'll have, Shelburne playing the Friday night and then Bowes playing the Saturday. That's
like Inter and AC Milan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
See Bowes there. It's funny though. You're struggling, and then 2 wins, and suddenly you're up to 7 points and only 3 points off.
Yeah. No.
Harps and Pats mightn't win, to be honest, this weekend, even if they drew, let's say. So, all it takes is a couple of wins, and suddenly you're back in there again. Like, especially if you're a decent side, like Bohemians. Drogheda are third as we speak,
Yeah, Drogheda will be happy with that. 5 matches in. 1
defeat in 5 matches.
Yeah, 8 points out of 13, or what? 8 points 15.
They need to lose with that start.
The next couple of, I say within the next month, will really give you probably an idea, because there's 5 matches. Everyone has 5 matches in the next 4 weeks, because it's constant back to back, Friday, Tuesday.
Yeah,
for the next 4 weeks.
Is it Friday, Tuesday for the next 4 weeks?
Mm-hmm. Well, Derry play Dundalk, and then they play Sligo Tuesday. The Friday they play Bowes, and then Tuesday night then they play Van Herts in the Brandywell, and then Friday night again they're back to playing. Was it Longford?
It's going to be a test if you start to pick up a few injuries for teams. That's going to be a test for certain teams, like Longford. Longford struggling in that time.
Yeah, I'd expect that match to be there.
Well.
So every team now for the next 4 weeks, or next 4 matches, it's Friday, Tuesday for most teams, or Wednesday, Saturday.
So that's essentially 12 matches in a month.
That's
a lot of matches the next month. That's going to tell a lot, and it's going to tell a lot to the teams who, who haven't got a big squad, let's say. Because if you haven't got a big squad, and even if you don't pick up injuries, it's very hard to play more or less the same side, isn't it? For 12 matches in the space of a month.
Yeah. You'll see a rotation in the squads.
There'll have to be. And,
I don't think it's it's not necessarily a month. I think it's over the next it's over the next 2.5 weeks. There's like 4 matches. You play Friday, Tuesday. So it's the next 2.5 weeks. You 4 matches in 2 weeks.
Even so, it's big. I can see Longford dropping near to the foot of the table by that point. I think Waterford are going to seriously struggle. I think Dundalk and Derry are going to pick up 1 or 2 results. So don't be surprised by the end of that if Longford and Waterford already are going to be 9th and 10th in the league. To be honest, like in the next 2.5 weeks. So, it could even set by then. I think, like, even though every match is technically tough, I do think that they're the weakest. I think Longford have a better. They look stronger mentally than Waterford, but probably Waterford better individuals overall. It's a difficult one.
You see, even for Finn Harps for use, Oisin, whenever you play Shamrock Rovers on a Friday, and then you play us on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like they're 2 games technically for Finn Harps, for anyone, but like the Derby, and then you're playing Shamrock Rovers. Is Pats at Finn Park or Richmond Park? Actually, I didn't check.
Pats are away, so Pats play, and then it's Shamrock Rovers, and then it's us.
Yeah, Pats struggled up in Finn Park there in the last year or so.
Beat you in the cup and beat you in the league, didn't they?
1-0 and 3-2, yeah. 3-2.
3-2, yeah.
3-2, yeah.
Georgie Kelly scored 2 headers, I think it was.
Yeah. He only scored against Finn Harps.
Rath scored a penalty as well, or he won a penalty, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even remember. I remember it was 3-2.
It was a cup match, 3-2.
Harps went 2-0. Harps went 2-0 early, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you see, even for Waterford, Keith, like Waterford as well, they've some hard fixtures coming back. They've Shamrock Rovers, and then they've Dundalk as well. And
even Dundalk, if they're in bad form, I still find it difficult to see Waterford pick up. They'll do well to get a point. I think Shamrock Rovers might get a few wins in a row here. They've Longford, haven't they, next? And they have
yes.
If they Drogheda, I think they'll be Drogheda. And you said the Waterford then, is it? I think Shamrock Rovers in their next 3 games will get 7 points at the very least. So
they've
pick up momentum.
They've got Shamrock Rovers. Have got Longford, and then they've got Drogheda, Bows, and then they've got Finn Harps, and then Waterford.
Oh, they've got Bows in between, yeah. But apart from that, I think they're very favourable fixtures.
Yeah, and then it's back day. Then we're back to start of the season. Back day Pats. Then.
Yeah. It's going
to be long coming around.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it, particularly the next few weeks. Actually, you're right, because it's going to be a lot of football.
It'll keep us busy,
We'll see now, like, who can, like, say Finn Harps lose a game. It should be interesting to see how they react to losing the game. Will they lose their next game? You know what I mean? Or will they? Same for any team. Sometimes I've noticed when teams go on long, well, it's not long yet, but unbeaten runs. Sometimes they lose a game and then they lose the next one fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I think Theodore said in the comments, he was all, lads, what happened? They done that.
We won't go on about that because we kind of explained that earlier on, didn't we, as well? Yeah. In great detail. Here, lads, look, thanks for coming on. I think we leave it there. We don't want to go on for too long, but I enjoyed that. Aidan kind of enjoyed that to a degree.
No, but
didn't lose, so that's all right. So, cheers for coming on again, lads. Really enjoyed that. And take it handy.
Thanks for having us.
At some point again. Brilliant. See you later. And guys, see you later. Subscribe if you do. Like the video, and that's it. See you now. Cheers, lads.
See ya. Thank you.
Excellent.